What's good, y'all? It's your boy Danza. Just one of the many faces of the machine known as the Danza Project. Please do me a favor if you rock with us. Hit that like button, subscribe button, and turn those notifications on. We appreciate you. Salute. All right, so sometimes I need to just, need to throw it back and get that feeling, that vibe. I don't know what it is about listening to the guitar or the piano or whatever it is that I listen to when I listen to music. There's just some instrument in there. There's some melody in there that I fall in love with, and I need music in my life. You know, we were talking about that with Effie yesterday. But anywho, something new that we are starting to do in that we need to be doing in this industry is educating people. So something new that the Danza Project is getting into is giving people that information. And this is season 4. This is our 4th season. Like, this is from now on, when we talk about our seasons, you know what I mean? Like, let's make it more impactful than being, season 1, season 2, season 3. Let's make it, a season of growth as well.
Dope. Yeah.
The things that we talk about, and part of that growth is what we got going on here at the Danza Project with, the deals in place, the sponsorships and everything, and just the relationships and bonds that we've built along the way. So what's going on with you, Kato? How you feeling today?
Man, it's been a long weekend. Ever since Labor Day weekend, I haven't been able to keep track of what day it is. My Tuesdays feel like Thursdays, and I've just been navigating day by day, little by little, trying to get through it. Plus, I'm coming off the birthday month. I just got my black belt Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I've just been running all over town. Went to Vegas 2 weeks ago. My head's spinning.
A lot,
man.
And I feel like we won't be able to settle down now.
I'm ready. Okay.
On top of that, we get to have a lot of amazing conversations with a lot of amazing people. And tonight we got someone special here, an entrepreneur, and somebody that we've got to have a little bit of a conversation with in the past just few minutes here to get to know, because we don't want the people to not get the same information. So Mr. Noonan, we got Charles Noonan here.
Yes,
how you
sir.
feeling today?
Yeah, I'm good, man. You set it off with the vibe. I ain't gonna lie.
You liked it?
Yeah, that was like. And so look, Chris. I'm sorry, Kato's bobbing his head still.
Yeah.
He's still like in
I feel it.
Yeah, that was dope, bro.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. So I'm feeling good, man. We got a lot of good stuff going on. I'm happy to be here. Fan of the show, so definitely.
When you say you're a fan of the show, give me an idea of a show that you've watched that made you a fan.
Of a podcast that I watch?
Yeah, just anything that you've watched of our show.
What did I say? In
of
episode
yours?
3?
Yeah, anything that went on in our podcast.
How real you guys keep it with Charleston White.
Okay.
Like, he's a internet sensation.
Yeah.
A phenomenon, right? But I feel like on here, he could be comfortable. He could be himself. Y'all just keep it so real, so funky with him, that I feel like if he comes here, he's just being him. Not that I don't know him anything personally, but what I see on the internet, when I watch him on this show, is different.
It's a wild difference.
It's different.
Yeah.
He's him, but I feel like you guys bring something different out of your guest every single time. So I always tap in, man, from artists to that crazy episode. I told my homegirl Melanie, I'm like, hey, we gotta compete with that.
Which one?
I know which one, man.
The Brittany one?
Yeah, bro. That was classic. But everybody watched it, like hung on the edge of their seat, mouth wide open. And big shout to Kato for holding it together. Big shout, man.
Boy, composure.
Composure
that was
at
the word
its
of the week.
finest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because tell me if you would agree. 9 out of 10 guys would have behaved in a different manner
Absolutely.
in that situation.
Absolutely.
Big shout to this dude,
Trust
man.
me. What a lot of people didn't see on camera, and I don't want to stay here too long, but prior to that, do you know who Shannon the Cannon is?
Yeah.
Shannon Briggs?
Yeah. He's a New Yorker.
He was in the room that day, and he caught the blunt end of it first, I believe.
Yeah.
They got into it first, and she was barking him down. I said, if she don't fear this 7, he calls himself the Yeti, okay? This 7 foot man, if she's barking this dude down, I'm gonna go ahead and pick my battles. You got that. Because when you engage in, you know what?
So let's get this on camera. You saying you ain't want no parts of her.
It wasn't worth my time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because if you engage in stuff like that, now you're part of the circus.
It gets bigger.
And now what I'm gonna do? Splash you back? And you gotta understand the thing too. She was filming some type of reality TV show, and what do they do on those sets? They spill water.
Yeah.
So I said, I see what's going on. Let it ride.
That's a mature level though, because
Come on, man.
everybody gave you so much props for that.
Not everybody.
At least
yeah.
Thank you.
My barbershop talk was like, yo, Kato held it down for real. Like took one for the show, for the team. Like, yo, like seriously, everybody says what they would have done in that situation. But Kato was just like,
Listen, man.
Yeah.
We got a job to do here, and from the beginning, our initial responsibility is to highlight the guest.
yeah,
Okay, we give you enough rope to maybe that's not the best phrase, but we let you do what you need to do. Like I said earlier, you have every right to be who you need to be for yourself.
yeah.
As long as it doesn't really interfere with who we are. And in that moment, I just kind of needed to let her happen, because friction makes fire. So let it ride. I wasn't about to start wrestling with Brittany Renner. What people don't know is I'm literally a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
And I was going to
So
mention
it's
that. I think that's his patience,
Yeah.
right? Like that's his zen.
Absolutely.
So like he looked at me initially when everything started breaking out and like, you want to stop this? And I looked at him like, this is gold. Are you like,
Yeah.
the show must go on.
Right.
Yeah.
But anyways, enough about we've spoken a lot about that, but it's always great to speak about it because it's such a great moment. But
And thank
today
you
we want to speak about you.
Yeah.
So take us back. I want for the people that are watching you today for us not to be speaking to just the people that know you.
Yeah.
I want you to speak to the people that have never gotten a chance to know you. So
Okay.
when we think about Charles Noonan, I want to know who you were early on. Was it Charles that mom called you? Were you Chuck?
Yeah.
What was the name in the household and what was the
Let's
upbringing
go
like?
back.
So take us back.
Nah, a lot of they used to just call me C. Just C. That's it. That's what I'm known for, like in New York City basketball. Funny enough, a lot of people don't know my full name. I'm just gonna say the streets of New York, nobody really uses their real name, right? So most people just know me as C. But growing up, in New York City, man, that's just what they used to call me.
Okay.
I got to start in real estate very early, though. So for an intro, I teach people real estate.
I don't want to skip the upbringing though. I don't want to skip mom and dad.
You want to just go?
I want the people to know who you are from the jump. What was the household like?
Bet. All right, so
Talk to us. See.
Both parents there? Was it one?
no, that wasn't common. No. So I grew up in the projects in the Bronx. Not even grew up. I'm gonna say 1 or 2 years old. As far back, I can't even remember this part of my life, but the story goes where my father wasn't a part of it. We lived in an apartment building that had a fire. There was some like a lot of commotion going on I would say in our small family structure. 1 brother, 2 sisters, mother and father. So when we move, so there's a fire breaks out, we gotta move. My grandmother didn't like my father. There was friction, right? So it was like he can't come. So from there, right?
Already friction, and then this happens.
Already friction. This breaks out. Story is that he was abusive to my mother, right? So that's why he couldn't come. It was like,
Okay.
right, this friction, you can't come.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, but I don't remember any of this. I'm young. So we moved in with my grandmother. Now, it was a 3-bedroom house, small house in the North Bronx. So from there, my uncle and his wife and 2 kids, which are my cousins, fall on hard times. So where do they go? Right?
Grandma's.
They got to come back to grandma's house. So now they in the basement, and it's like me, brother, 2 sisters, my mom's, my grandmother, my uncle, his wife, her 2 kids, and like everybody else's family. We got that sick aunt in the living room, right? Hooked up to like the fucking
The respirator.
the machine,
oxygen.
the oxygen. See, you know what I'm talking about? The oxygen machine. But I'm gonna say this, right? I can't claim. We didn't claim poor poverty, so we were on welfare, like fucked up, real fucked up. I stood on welfare lines with my moms for hours, right? Back then, you had to actually go stand in the line. They give you the block of cheese. They give you the food stamps and the no frills food, stuff like that. But as a kid, right, and you just think the mind of a kid, if your favorite cousin get to move in with you, you ain't mad at all, right? It's a permanent sleepover.
Right.
The block we lived on, it was, I'm gonna say, underdeveloped, so it wasn't uncommon for people to live like overcrowded and fucked up situations.
Yeah, we all trying to get it.
Yeah, so I could say it was like traumatizing and like the worst experience in the world, but it really wasn't until I really started to get older and understand like what was going on and how hard it was. That's when I realized like, oh, I grew up bad. Like I grew up in some real mess, so to speak.
And a lot of people, I don't think we recognize it early on. I might have just caught that from you right there, because when there was those times that somebody had to come to the house or we had to go to somebody else's house, it was like, oh, you got to make this happen. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wanna go to Theo so-and-so's house, you know, to Tia's house or Abuela's house. Like, I wanted to. Like, for me, it was just like that's the fun in it. You know, you get to hang out with your cousins and everything like that. And I never really thought about those times where for me it was more of a good thing. Where for my parents at that time, it was a terrible thing.
To live. Did you come from a similar background where you had cousins and family live with you?
Yeah, no, we just always had somebody that had to stay over for something because they had a bad week or you know, they got to stay there for a few weeks because they got to get back on their feet. Yeah. And we were in the slums of Buffalo, you know, so again, like we spoke earlier, you know, the gas gets shut off, the electric gets shut off, they have to come over. You know what I mean? Until that bill is paid.
But so I went to my best friend's house down the block. Like my real story, my moms would tell me she would have to choose between what bill to pay. Like the light bill, the gas, they weren't connected. They were separated. Like the light was a bill, the gas was a bill, the water was a bill. Our water never got cut off. Water in New York is the last thing. They'll let you ride out with the water bill being off for a while, but
gotta make sure you can still pay.
She had to choose. And I think kind of like the time of the year, because it gets really cold, she would choose which bill she was going to pay. But again, I'm like 11, 12, 13. It's not dawning to me. To me, it's like, oh, because she didn't let us stay at other people's houses. Like that was just a no-go in my family. Like they just never trusted other people to let us go stay. However, the block we were raised on became a community because we all shared the similarities and just poverty, I'm gonna say. So when my lights got cut off, my sister went right across the street to the twins' house, like who are her best friends. My brother went to his friend's house across the street, like on the right side. I went to my friend's house down the block, and it was just fun. It was like, it wasn't bad.
I'm guessing, right?
It was just wild. Just get to stay up late.
Stuff you wouldn't normally.
The Atari on the block wasn't at his house. It was at my other friend's house. Who moms was like, y'all stay over there. Yeah. But it wasn't video game. But we just get to stay up and chill. Had a little crush on his sister. So it was like, everybody had a little
excitement
crush
around every corner. Like, she in this room too?
Yeah. That was dirt poor, horrible, but so much fun as you get older, you realize, and we talk about like some of my drives sometimes, never wanting my kids to see that pushes me so much. But sometimes now, where we're older, so my mom's, I would say credit to her, all of us got college degrees. We all do well now. But there is something that's a little different in that we're not as close in proximity or as close as like tight knit anymore. So
Yeah.
we all got money. We all, live in different areas, and the kids aren't as close as we were to our cousins and stuff.
What was your mother's mindset and the conversations like when she was facing those difficulties? Was she able to communicate those times to you that you kind of understood, or was it just, that's mommy and mommy's love and she kept it away from you?
So we talked about energy earlier. Her energy, she never claimed like poverty. She never claimed being poor. When we would walk home with a watermelon, they used to give watermelons for welfare too, right? And like the little quarter waters,
Yeah.
she would give those out to kids in the community. And I kind of understood it, but I didn't understand money at the time, but it was like we don't have a poverty mindset. We had more so of like an abundance mindset. So she was working different odd jobs. They would work hard, right? Double shifts.
Yeah.
She worked at the school, then she worked somewhere else. And we never really claimed it. The sweetest lady, I say this to this day, the nicest lady I've ever met. So that energy, like we had to really fuck up to get that like anger to be taken out on us.
Yeah.
But it did when we fucked up. Like the beatings was horrible. It was overdone, right? She was shit. Super sweet, nice lady, but like if
Was
you
was
fucked
the
up
belt
some
a thing,
shit,
the hanger? What was it?
the belt, but she like short, right? So she gonna hit you with anything. She was like a short lady that could fight. So she just will like if you trigger that, like she gonna hit you with anything.
Yeah,
like if it's close, she just like loses it, bang, throws some
You
shit
didn't
at
have
you.
the luxury of choice.
Yeah.
Times.
No, it wasn't oh, you're gonna get a beating, go get the belt.
Yeah.
It was like what? And she just gonna throw some
Yeah.
shit
just
at
like,
you.
oh.
Yeah, and then you be like, oh shit, she'll apologize later or explain later, right? So I'm the youngest, I'm the baby, so they gotta clean it up for me, right?
yeah,
right?
yeah.
They gotta clean it up. But in my mind, I'd be like, but why would you throw a pot at me?
Yeah.
What the like punishment? That didn't qualify for punishment, a pot. And then I realized like, all right, some real shit is going on. My brother bugging out, he's an older teen, and he beating people up in the neighborhood, and he's at that point where he's a little bit older of a teenager, so he's wilding because he got some shit going on in the house, right? Me, I'm a little shorty, so I don't really understand, but I'm seeing these things as I get older. Younger, you hear it, right? I gotta go to bed, whatever, but I'm seeing it now, like, oh shit, that shit was bad, and that's really what it was.
So going through school, was it something that was tough for you early on going through school, or you were just acing through?
So my older sister was smart. Nah, so we would get our ass kicked if we ain't if we fucked up in school.
Yeah.
Like to get a phone call home was a major violation.
I'm busting my ass day in and day out for you to go to school.
Was it like that for you?
Oh man, I don't know too many people that haven't heard that speech. You know.
All right, so cool. Yeah, no, the rules still apply, right?
Yeah.
You can't miss no day in school.
Poverty or not, you going to school, baby.
Yeah, so school. I did have to wear my brother's pants. Like when I got tall, so I'm the tallest. So we had to switch some clothes out. Had to switch some sneakers out. But we had to go to school. Like my grandmother, she was obviously miserable because she went from being by herself to having fucking 10 people in the house, right?
A team on her back.
So she didn't fuck around. There was she took no shorts. You do something, you getting your ass whipped. But she was big on education. Before she died, she got like a doctorate degree. So they always just pumped education, which I will say, like, it sinks in, even though the kid may not show it, right? Because we're teens and we bugging out doing teenager shit. Even like, it sinks in. The word that your parent preaches, it sinks in. That's why you got, like, I would say dudes on the street who, when you really sit them down, like they could do the most heinous, crazy shit in the street, but when you really sit them down, based on who they was raised by, like they know wrong from right.
Yeah.
They know that they did some shit. So oftentimes it's because they had to, and like they hear it. It's just sometimes people get caught doing dumb shit, or people just
They
wrong
can't escape the
crowd.
life. It's similar to having Woody up here.
Right.
You know?
Well, you said it though. It sinks in. Like on initial touch, maybe it didn't hit right away, but it sinks in over time. That's one of those things, man. You start to appreciate it over time. It's like, now I get what they were saying. Now I get why I had to sit at the table and finish my homework.
Yeah.
You know, like in that moment, it did not make too much sense. Why do I have to do this? Why do I have to eat my veggies? Like, you know, but in time it sinks in. Yeah.
So going through life and the journey that you've gone through and getting into college, what was your hopes? Like, what were you trying to be?
A school teacher.
Is that what your mom was doing in the schools?
Nah, she eventually got a job at Transit, like a stable job working for the city.
Okay.
And she excelled through there. But all I knew was like, my aunt was a school teacher. My oldest sister was a school teacher. And as I was in college, my second oldest was a school teacher. They had the summers off and they got out of work at like 3. I was a basketball junkie. Like I say to this day, basketball saved my life. Because like as just a kid growing up in the street, I lived between like 2 notorious projects, right? It was like 2-3 blocks with private houses, and then it was like projects, and like the Bronx was burning, right? Fucked up. But basketball really is what saved my life. It's really what got me into college. It's real. So I'm a scholarship athlete.
Okay.
I ended up going to like probably like one of the worst schools in New York City through playing street ball, and they just like threw me in the community school. And it just so happened by like the grace of God, they had a scrimmage against, I'm gonna just say like this rich private school. Coach, so I cooked, I killed them, right? Coach is like, yo, like I need this dude, right? First scrimmage, right? First scrimmage, they was trying to take me, and the coach was like, you know, favor from a street ball coach. He was like, nah, I need him for a year, and then you could take him. So I went to like I'm gonna just say like a regular school in the Bronx, a regular college in the Bronx. We call them the 13th grade, right? And then I got a scholarship to a private school, Caldwell University, and I played basketball there. And that's what saved me.
The game.
That's really what saved me, because being in that environment, now I was exposed to a different way of living. I was exposed to like good financial habits. I was exposed to like, yo, Charles, we don't eat bullshit. Like we don't eat chicken wings and pork fried rice. Right? I didn't know that's what I ate when I got money.
Yeah.
On Fridays when we got money, we automatically went to the Chinese food store.
Yeah.
Right? It was like Friday pay, like that was a treat in my household, chicken wings and french fries.
Yeah.
Pork fried rice was a treat.
We made it another week.
Hell
Let's
yeah.
go get some Chinese.
Did they have the Chinese stores in Buffalo?
Hell yeah.
They did. So you know what I'm talking about. You sit there chilling like,
I haven't
yo,
eaten that in so long. I'm thinking about it right
you
now.
chilling like you don't know what I'm talking
It
about.
wasn't Panda Express. There was an actual
Hell
Panda.
no.
There was an actual store called Panda in Buffalo. Man,
The real
the
deal.
pork fried rice was
So
So
you
when you
know
said
what
that,
I'm
it took me
talking
back,
about.
yeah.
I see this look on your
Yeah.
face. It's blank, but it's like,
yeah.
oh shit,
Damn,
he
that
had
The
beef
pork was
and
actually
broccoli.
like red. You know what I mean?
Come on, bro. Come on,
The
bro.
pork was red.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, of
Kato?
course, man. Classic.
All right,
Classic.
good.
Yeah.
No,
'Cause
that was
y'all
a big
like-
deal.
Y'all like thinking about what you used to order, and you
Yeah,
get a little
yeah,
duck
yeah.
sauce and soy
Yeah,
sauce and pour the
yeah.
shit on top. It's probably the most unhealthy shit you
Yeah.
could ever eat.
Yeah, I mean, I might, after this conversation, I might have a meal,
Get
but
it fresh.
no, I don't eat like that either, but you could go ahead, speak.
Real
on it.
shit,
Yeah,
though.
yeah,
Well,
hell
nah,
yeah.
You
nah,
know
I
what
mean,
I'm talking about.
Chinese is like hood classic, hood legend, because
Yeah.
everybody can eat. And it was like you kind of like you said, just for my household too. It was, we made it to another Friday, we made it to another
Yeah.
check.
Yeah.
We eat good on this day, like
Yeah.
we celebrate our small victories. If it's a little $400, $500 check, time relative, but let's go ahead and get some good food. You know,
Yeah.
Sunday breakfast was a little bit better. You know, because
Give me that damn fortune cookie.
With the fortune cookie. Why do we read the fortune cookie? And whoa, worse. Yo, why did we believe the fortune cookie and save it? Tell me you ain't save it. Dan's about to cry. Look. Tell me you ain't save a fortune cookie in the small pocket.
No, definitely.
In the small pocket of your jeans?
Yeah.
Twirled up.
I had all the fortune. We used to fight. There was 5 of us. I had 5 siblings, so we fought for the
3
damn fortune
cookies.
cookies.
Yeah.
Hoping.
My fortune. That's why I said it. Give me the damn fortune cookies. As soon as that bag opens,
What do you mean share it? You can't share it.
right?
Share
That's the funniest.
So you're speaking of basketball and how you were cooking people.
Yeah.
So it was a school teacher over being a basketball star.
I don't know. That's all I knew. I didn't know. And this is why I'm so passionate about what I do today. There was nobody really showing people careers that they could do and how to do them. That's all I knew. So I wanted to just be on the street playing ball. I wanted to be with my friends. Even in college. So my mom's at a certain point, you know, I got bigger, stronger. I'm in the streets hooping. Like basketball is my thing. Like I would claim basketball as a kid.
Everybody
It wasn't the
knows.
corner. It wasn't whatever. It was like, yo, man, I was good. And I played with my older brother, so I got good early. So that was just like my identity as a person.
Yeah.
So when it came time for school, I was going to school for basketball and girls. I was going to win a championship. Academia and try to get a degree and build a network of friends to go open a business and do business with each other was foreign to me. That wasn't what I was going to school for. I was going to school to come back on the block to say, yo, I got a scholarship.
I'm that guy.
And I'm better now. I'm better than everybody now.
Right.
That's what school was for to me. They told me like, yo, do education because you'll be a good teacher. Kids like you, right? The kids on the block all like you and shit. So be a teacher. Plus you get out early. You get like vacations
Gotta work the
off
whole
in
year.
summer. Yeah. I was like, oh, this sounds dope.
I could do that.
So here's what that's in my mind as a kid, right? As a, let's just say 18, 19, 20-year-old, whatever, 17, 18, 19. This is why I took this major in social studies, right? History never changes. So what happened in 1895, 1795 never changes. And I'm just going through my mindset, right? This is what I figured. I could learn that shit one time and give the same lessons over and over for the rest of my life or my teaching career, and my job would be super easy. Because, right, what happened in 1895, it ain't going to change.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I was like, yo, I just got to learn this stuff one time,
Amazing.
teach the same thing, and I'm out of here.
Right.
So that's how I ended up really getting a bachelor's in social studies and a minor in early childhood education. No guidance, nobody.
Wow.
They like everybody was playing ball in the hood. That was if you won the summer league, like there's like 10 leagues in New York City. If you win those, you valid. That's your championship. You can now walk around New York City. If you won Rucker Park, you won Gun Hill, you won Dykeman, you won Watson Classic, you won Orchard Beach. That's your championship. Everywhere you go in New York City, they praise you.
Status.
So nobody's really trying to get to college like that. Like that's where I'm from. That wasn't like the thing. The players went to college. They got Division I scholarships. They went, they failed out. They came right back home on the block. Some of them went to the league for a minute. And it's so fucked up that when you came home, you went to the league and you bounced back. Now you're a failure and you made it.
Yeah.
Right? Right? They be like, nigga went to such and such and bounced right the fuck back. You trash.
He's a bum.
He's a bum.
Whoa.
Like, yo, he's a
bum.
He
kinda
played
did
in the
it.
NBA. But when you come right back, that shit's a failure.
Word.
Right or wrong?
Yeah.
That is interesting.
You're a failure. God forbid you made it all the way and you got cut before the season start. you really a bust, you trash, you horrible. And they will make you think that they're better than you, and they ain't been inside of step one foot inside of a college.
Yeah.
Right. That's
So that's why I say it saved my life, man. Like I would say the streets was nice enough to me, or the basketball gods. I don't know who did it, man, but when I got that scholarship and I got put in that different environment, although I thought it was corny, although I thought like I was better than everybody because I'm from New York City, I still changed without wanting to change, right? So the music they listen to, and this is why I'm so big on environment as a person. And talking about our conversation earlier, right? I think those people that are weak, if you put them in a strong environment, they can excel. Because I was in an environment where I wanted to eat bullshit. I wanted to eat Chinese food. I wanted to like get a credit card. I wanted to give a credit card company my social security number for a $500 credit card in exchange for a t-shirt. And they were like, yo, dude, you don't got no job. Like you can't, like, we don't do that.
Yeah.
Right? You don't have a job to pay it. So
what
we
you gonna
not
do with this?
So yeah, like what are you gonna do? Buy
How you
Chinese?
gonna pay this
You
back?
gonna go in debt. You're gonna buy everybody on the campus Chinese food and liquor, and you can't pay
More
it back.
Chinese.
Yeah.
And you're gonna mess your shit up. So they was like, nah, like we don't do that, right? Just wait. We get our laundry money. We're gonna get money, whatever the case may be, and you just go without until you get it, and then you'll be fine. So they're like, hey, coach gonna open up bookstore, camps, like opportunities to make money. And that's why I learned like financial fortitude, financial literacy, and financial discipline. Like if I don't have money for something, I really just don't buy it. I'm cool without it until I get enough to buy it.
Don't that sound so simple? You know, and some of the people, something that people really genuinely struggle with.
Absolutely.
Such a simple tweak in the mind state. That's why earlier maybe I answered that incorrectly, but under my assumption is just information and, you know, knowing what you the can and cannot, should and should not do. Like not enough people there, not enough opportunities where people throw the rope back and give you that financial literacy and give you that financial discipline.
Yeah.
They don't have access to that information, you know. But here we are, right? This is where your type of programs and your type of community orientated things, this is where that stuff comes into play and makes a change.
Yep.
It's wild, man. It isn't something that is taught in school. And I asked myself about that, like about credit. Like, how come I didn't know about this? How come I didn't learn about this? If my mother hadn't found out through, you know, trial and error, I wouldn't have a shoe in the way I did come about to learn about credit and, you know, your scores and things like that. And I realized it's kind of like a game. It's like, I can't tell you how to win the game. You know?
Oh, that's big.
I can't tell you how to win the game. Okay, I'll say it again. So it's like, you got to seek that information and find out.
Did you go to college?
So, some. Did I complete college? No. Did
You
I go
went to college?
Yes.
I went to college for maybe 3 months and it just wasn't working out.
Wasn't working out.
They
Did you see
tried
those?
to teach me something, and I was like, "There's no chance that I'm ever gonna meet this."
Try to teach me something.
And I stood up and I got the hell out. I was like,
He just
"That's enough
left.
of that." Yeah.
But did you guys realize, like, when you were there, did y'all see those credit card companies that were offering credit cards and all kinds of
I mean,
stuff?
I went to college and I seen all that shit. They be
Especially
lined out first week of school. Nobody has a job. But like you said, giving out T-shirts, giving out credit cards.
What he said.
Yeah,
Pens and frisbees and
yeah, they do
A
all
frisbee.
that. Yeah.
Fucking frisbee.
Yeah.
Give me your social for a fucking frisbee.
That was like a joke, but
It's real predatory
That's
shit.
the word, predatory. That's
You
the
got
word.
kids that just left home, right? 17, 18-year-old kids just left home, and they say, give me your social and for a frisbee. Like, that's the most predatory shit I can
Even
ever
when you first
imagine.
open up a bank account, that's the first thing they're trying to do.
No,
Get
but it's
you to get a
different
credit
on
card.
the college campus.
No, I'm just saying, like, it starts immediately as you step into adulthood, and you're gonna pay your own bills, and you want to get a job as soon as you decide to.
They're already
It's just
trying to
boom.
capture
It's
you.
like
They on
let's
you.
that predatory
Yeah.
lending begins.
Yeah.
Frisbee
It's
is
wild,
crazy.
man. If you don't know any better, that's why like there's so many people whose stuff is messed up. That's why. I mean, it is what it is. It could be like you said. To go deeper,
There's a
the
lot
other side
behind
of the
what I
fence
said.
is like, oh, don't tell them.
Yeah,
Right? We're gonna
absolutely.
get them in debt. We're gonna keep them in debt.
Absolutely.
We're gonna make them take that job and have to stay there. We're gonna make them take that job where they really can't leave because they got these bills. We're gonna make both of them co-sign for that first car.
The cosign is one of the craziest
Yeah.
things. I don't know if
Two
this
people that can't afford it doesn't help.
Yes, I don't know if this is the topic for the show, but the cosign is crazy. I don't know if it was created to help people really, or just to make more sales.
To make more sales.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, we live in a consumer economy.
But
so
that's
the
like-
idea is for more people to buy shit all
But
the
that's
time.
like, okay, we at the club, right? And I'm interested in two women over there, right? This is so bad. One's a 4, one's a 6, and I say, God damn it, I got me a 10. No, that ain't what it is. When you're speaking about co-signing financially, you're getting somebody to basically vouch for you and say, if he can't pay, I'm gonna help him pay it. We are both good. Let's help each other. We will put our joint efforts, whatever line of credit that we have, whatever history of credit that we have, we will come together and make this happen.
Damn.
No,
And for that, you got the 2 girls, a 6 and a 4.
don't make it 10. Don't make it 10. I don't know if that was the best analogy for what we're trying to do.
Yo.
today, but
Bro, people said I come up with some weird ass analogy.
I'm trying to serve it to you fast food so y'all get what I'm saying.
yeah.
Like,
Yo, a 6 and a 10.
A 6 and a 4.
A 6 and a 4 makes a 10.
don't. For co-signing purposes, it will,
I
but
got
it,
you, yeah.
Here's why I think co-signing is bad, right? Here's why I think it's bad. Because realistically, only one person's gonna get the car. So Kato gets the car and don't pay. I signed for him to help him get it, but I'm not paying for it because I didn't drive the car. I don't even get the car. There's no co-signers that share the car equally.
It never
You
works out
driving
that
it.
way.
Oh, he ain't pay. Let me call him.
Yeah.
Kato, hey, you gotta pay that, bro. They calling me now.
I told them I don't got it. I'm gonna tell you I don't got it. You know,
And
It
I'm
does
not
increase the fear a little bit, right, to make the payment when you do have a cosigner.
but it doesn't work.
No, absolutely. And
I
and,
say
and
that
my
'cause I
brother
sold
taught me that lesson young because I really wanted a car. You know, I don't have the credit for it. I'm like, my brother, could you? He's going to be a cosigner, and he was cool with it.
Yeah.
Up to this level of car, none of them that I wanted.
yeah.
You know what I
Right,
mean?
nothing you wanted. Let's go.
Yep. And as soon as I'm like, oh, I want that one, he's like, yeah, we're gonna leave here. We'll have a talk later about it. And I was mad, you know, at first. And
course.
I didn't understand it. You know, it was my older brother. He's just telling me, he's like, nah, we're not doing that. And you know, I had some repossessions on my record early on. So my brother, Kato, you made the right decision. All right.
But you still had repos.
Yeah. Early on, I still messed up. Yeah, definitely.
That's
still
crazy.
messed up.
So in that repo situation, was you like parking the car a couple blocks away from the house and everything?
Nah,
You
I just didn't
you
think it
ain't
was
pay-
gonna happen.
You left it right there.
Yeah, I didn't think it was gonna happen.
Came out.
It was outside at work. My sister was damn near beating up the repo man.
Ah,
Yeah.
she wasn't trying to let him take it.
Oh, she got arrested.
Wait, have you ever told this story before?
I haven't. No.
You got to drop it, bro.
So I'm at work.
She's like, damn it.
You told them. You told them when you
She
went
was working. She was working for me.
when you
at
got the
time.
car. Though you put down where you worked, so you probably
No,
told
they find you on those. They either have something under the car to figure out what it is, or they're circling around. They know everything. You know, they know how to skip trace and get the info. But yeah, so I'm at work and my sister's like, Michael, you know, it's just like, what the hell is going on? And I said, and my sister, she's aggressive, you know, so I'm trying to calm her down. I was like, let them take it. I'll just go pick it up. You know, I got the money to pick it up. I just haven't made the payments. It's fine. Just let them take it. They ain't taking your car. Get in there and drive off. And she's amping me up. I'm like, all right, shit. I'm gonna try to get in there and drive off. So the guy tries to stop, like get closer to me.
Yeah.
She goes crazy on him, spits on him. You know,
man.
she's ready.
I've heard you say this a couple times.
Yeah, so
Buffalo.
yeah, Buffalo. Yeah. So
So
she doesn't play. She does not play. To this day, she does not play.
mine either. And I know your sister turn up like that. You kind of you got to do something.
Yeah,
too. You can't let your sister tell your brother she got into it and you
So
chill.
I'm like,
That's a thing.
damn.
So
Yeah.
nah, you gotta tell us what you
so
did, bro.
she just, cops came. My sister don't care about no damn cops.
Right.
So they try grabbing her. Poof. She pushes him off. She runs. The guy's obviously got the whip. Now the whip's gone. It's going. It's going. Yeah, no, it's going anyways because there's too many cops there. We're not getting it out.
Yeah.
So in my office, the door, when you close it, when you close the door, it locks. That's it. You're not getting in. You got to get buzzed in. So the cop grabs her, male cop, female cop. The male cop has her. She spins off, opens, door closes, and then she gets into the doors closed. The cops on the other side. Now I'm just walking into the first door because there's this door, that door, and then there's the stairs. But after that, you're not getting up. So I walk in, and I see the door, and the cops are like, "Open this," and my sister's like, "You know," she's like, "What are you doing?"
God.
She just goes bananas, and I'm sitting there. I turn around,
in the middle,
and he's like, the cop turns around, and he's like, "Bitch," but he's saying it to the other cop. He doesn't know I just witnessed it all.
Yeah,
and I was like, so I'm a dickhead too, and I'm like, "Word, do something about it." So now I get aggressive,
right?
And now I'm screaming over there, and they're like, "You better get her down here." Eventually, she turned herself in like an hour and a half later, got arrested for a little bit, but picked her up in the morning. And I'm like, damn, we didn't even have to do all that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just let him take it. Like, I got the money. I just pick it up tomorrow.
You ain't pick her up in the car, did you?
Yes, I did.
In the car that she got arrested.
Y'all some motherfuckers, bro.
Oh shit, that's funny.
But it's just, like, this is life. So, we've all witnessed it. A lot of people don't know that, even like that they see me up here and Kato up here, like, just podcast guys. They just do podcasts. They're nice guys. But we've all lived a real life. Back to you. How many years were you in college?
5.
5 years.
Yeah, I was on a 5-year plan.
So you left around 2002. The Rangers, right? 2001.
I graduated 2000.
Okay. Now, when you're out of school, is when you jumped into real estate, and I did hear a story of the reason you got into it is because your mother put a property under your name.
And my brother.
Okay.
Yeah, they was they basically that's what they did. They was like, let me use your social, right? Again,
the cosigner.
Our community, bro. Like,
this is very
I've had
common.
Con Edison bills, which is a light and power in my name.
Yeah.
Cable in my name. Every bill been in a lot of people's kids' names and their families, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think nothing of it. I'm going to school struggling, in the struggle, but I'm cool because it's like, yo, and this is another thing kids don't do. Kids aren't okay with struggling. You can't get a kid to just be cool with not having. It's like they sometimes gotta have this instant thing that they decide they want.
Especially now with social media, they want to show off all the time.
Man.
They would never ever post a past due bill.
It kills us. Yeah. It kills us. Yeah. So my brother wasn't doing well as far as like the workforce, right? He's like street dude. And I knew, like, I didn't think he had any real estate education to know how to buy a property, rent it out, do the math where it makes sense, and execute on it. My mom's didn't know. She's like, whatever y'all say, like, whatever, we got to do something to start changing. We got to start doing some stuff. So they bought a property. Tax time came, and, they like, AC, go in the other room. And I was like, let me see, but the accountant is there now. Old dude, family accountant, do everybody's stuff in the whole neighborhood, right? Doing the taxes. And he's like, he could take a look. So I took a look. I seen they made $48,000. They got 12 payments of $4,000 from Section 8. They bought a house in the hood, rented it out, and was making money off of it. So my name is on it. And I was like, y'all ain't give me no money. I'm like hurting over there in school, doing all kind of, we from New York, we gonna figure out how to make money in school. Regardless, we on scholarship and 3 years away from a degree.
Heard you.
We just gonna do whatever, right? So in my mind, I was like, if those motherfuckers made $48,000, I know I could make money, right? I know I could kill it. So eventually they took the house out my name, refinanced it, got me off the house. And then when I first came home from school, that was like one of the things that I really had my heart set on, was like getting in the game of real estate. And me, my roommate, and one of my really close friends, we bought a house in the hood, and we was trying to do the same thing, basically.
And is that something that you had like resentment towards your family for a little bit?
So we were close, not long, not really long, right? So mom's is mom's. I'm the baby. Like, she could do no wrong in my eyes, right? I'd be like, more so my brother put her up to it, but that's my brother, right? So through thick and thin, we always been like, you know, that's my heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So even though
I know why you did it, but I'm not.
I
happy
know why
about
you
it.
did it, but like you could have threw me something,
Yeah,
right?
Let me get some
Especially 'cause
Chinese
I'm
food.
Like, I'm hurt. Like, we up there
Yeah.
hurting, bro.
Yeah.
My
Damn.
teammates are really taking care of me. They would drive me back to New York. They would bring me home for Thanksgiving. My roommate he lived in Hackensack at the time. So on the weekends, because I didn't have no money to get home, right? We would just go home. He's from New Jersey. The school's in New Jersey. He would bring me to like home for fun stuff, and his people would take care of us. So I'm up there struggling but having fun again still.
Yeah.
So it ain't, when you young and one person got money, it's cool,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's like you ain't really,
You with me tonight?
Yeah.
you
We
ain't really
good.
mad about
We
it.
good.
But
Right.
Once in a while, they'll be like, you could throw some gas money in there. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Whenever you
so-
got it.
So that's probably why I ended up doing a deal with him at first, because it's like, yo, we have to make it on our own. If I'm gonna make it, you gonna make it too,
Right.
Like I got
From the
something.
same place.
Yeah. So
And I've seen it work. So it's like, I know.
yeah,
This ain't guesswork. It's not like, well, I hope. It's not like playing the lotto. It's like, there's an
Yeah.
equation to this. We just got to learn how to do it.
So we ain't get to that equation,
No, not out the gate.
bro. We did. Do they do rooming houses in Buffalo?
What is that?
Like you get a 3-bedroom apartment, but you rent it out as rooms.
Oh, yeah.
So like a shared space.
Yeah.
Shared space.
Yeah.
Kind
Completely
of like
illegal.
a college type of situation, right?
Completely illegal in New York City.
Oh, wow.
But the math made more sense than to rent it out Section 8. So Section 8, it was, let's say, like a house, $216,000. Section 8, the mortgage was like $1,800, right? Section 8 may have paid, let's say, $1,500 for the first floor apartment, $1,500 for the second. That's $3,000. With 3 people on the house, the mortgage is $1,800. We only making $1,200. That ain't enough, really, for me to be giving you $4,000, $8,000, $400 a month. Is like, no. So here we go. Bright ideas, right? We like, all right, rooms in New York City was a thing. Like, you can rent out rooms, shared living. So we chopped the houses up like that, and we made a lot of money doing it like that. And then we bought a bunch of houses.
Okay.
Also, the mortgage industry, I don't know if you guys know, went through a time like in 2008, 2009, where they say the bubble busted. So as the Bronx started getting built up, as neighborhoods started to get built up by, I would say, developers, they would buy these houses super cheap. So let's just say the Bronx is burning, vacant houses is messed up. Corporate companies would buy these houses, fix them up, sell them back to people for a lot of money.
Premium.
They need these no income, no asset loans. They need people like us three to co-sign and get in and buy it for $200,000 when they paid $50,000, right? Wow. So at that point, this is why I busted. They was giving everybody mortgages back then with very little qualifications. They doing the cosign. Hey, Charles, yours is a 5. His is a 200. Y'all got a 700 credit score. They giving houses away. So we leveled up like crazy back then.
Wow. And around what time was this?
08. So from graduation from school, like 01, we owned houses. I'm gonna say probably between the three of us, at least like 15 houses,
Damn.
15 rooming houses. So we driving around New York City, the three of us, collecting rent from individuals in rooms every Saturday, getting it, going crazy. Of course, you rent into the lowest of the low, right?
Yeah.
So it starts to get a little active. It starts getting a little crazy. People
be
not
real busy.
not paying. We trying to throw them out. They trying to stay. We get into that whole landlord tenant thing. It gets a little active.
Yeah.
So
Riding around listening to 50 Cent collecting them payments.
yeah, Mob Deep.
Yeah, okay,
I'm blasting this shit before we pull up, right?
Oh man,
Mob Deep, MOP. Like
the fuck else could happen?
tough.
yes,
I mean?
yeah.
That's good. That's good money collecting music though.
It is. No, we was eating for a while, but obviously education started to sink in, knowing that we couldn't do this forever. Like you can't play bully ball, right? And you can't make a living off of being bullies, right? Off of demanding people pay or they leave. That's just not a good business model.
Right,
Right?
longevity's
They
not
calling the
sustainable.
cops. Eventually they get smart. They call the city. The city inspector's like, hey, y'all not supposed to be doing this anyway. So it started to get a little shaky.
Yeah, and then you lose your whole jig, your whole gig.
But here's the blessing. The bubble was about to pop. It was about to go crazy. So what we bought for $200,000, we were selling these houses at $400,000, $450,000, $500,000. So we were killing the game when we sold our houses. Like we became hood rich. We was already hood rich because we was making money, but we became hood rich.
Y'all were in position.
That first time in your life where we really got money is when we started to sell our houses and unload.
Wow. And this was before the pop?
Right before. I'm going to say 2008, 2009.
So
I
you took
remember
advantage
closing
of
a
that, yeah.
deal, 903 Home Street. Is in the Bronx. I remember closing this deal, and the guy was starting to have trouble with the mortgage company that I sent him to. I knew the lady because we did so many mortgages, and she was like, yeah, I don't know if this is going to go through. I was like, oh, damn. Like, that's $250 cash for me, and I'm 26, 7, 8 years old.
Big deal.
Right? So it went through. We kind of sold most of them. I probably held like one or two. My friends held one or two.
Wow.
One got caught up though. One got he
Just didn't make the cut.
He ain't make the cut. He didn't make his payments. I foreclosed on the house.
Okay.
Right? Tenants, they just get smart over time.
Mm-hmm.
They know how to beat you. They know to call the cops as soon as you come. So you trying to collect, you trying to throw them out. They're calling the cops,
Yeah.
right? And now, so we got money.
That's why I believe in the Republican way. Get him the fuck up out of there.
I got a shout out for your guys. But
Somewhat.
in my pocket, I don't know if I'm.
I don't use it all the time.
You get a little
I'm
shout
with
out
you.
for his
I'm with you.
guy. I got a little shout out for your guy at some point. But yeah, man. So we got
Respect that.
caught. So he got caught in the matrix, but we had money. So we thank God, man. Like I feel blessed
What a
sometimes
time.
that I made it unscathed. Right? Like completely unscathed. Like some days I just wake up and feel so blessed because there's so many things that could have went wrong for me in my life, and I'm where I am today. So
But you didn't just get there, right? Like, you had a career at American Express for a while?
Yeah.
Was that prior or after?
no, so right after that, I chilled for a year actually. Right. So I had my son, and I didn't grow up with a father. So I wanted to like do all the things that I just imagined the father would do or do stuff like that. So I just chilled for a whole year home, and just like I had a nanny, and I just like, you probably relate to this. Some people gonna call it weird and soft, but like I would take naps with my son. Right? Isn't that a blessing?
I take a nap with my son every day.
Well, you're talking to the
Come
right
give
guy.
it. All right, come on.
Every single day. Every single day.
You gotta keep it 100. I ain't want to really be
every
like,
single day.
Nah,
that's gangster to me,
yeah, yeah.
right? Like, yo,
It's a
I hit you
blessing.
back. I'm taking a nap with my son.
Yeah.
There's so many of us that didn't grow up with a father or even a mother. So for a mother to be like, I'm doing my daughter's hair, right? And for you to be like, yo, I'm taking a nap. I can't make that meeting. Let's do
Yeah,
it at
yeah,
5. That's real, like,
Priceless, man.
priceless to me.
It really
Like
is.
that's the win in life to me, where you get to do things like that.
Yeah.
So I chill for a while. Then of course, we young, wild, still in the streets, still playing ball, driving the crazy cars and everything. We all looked at each other, was like, yo, we gotta do something. That money started spending so fast. So one of my college roommates, he was like, he was at Enterprise and he was like a manager. So he would wear suits and everything. And we kind of like was like, all right, so we got to get a job. Like, bro, help us with a job. Like tell us what to do.
I want to wear suits too. You know,
I just wanted the money, man. I ain't
Right,
really
right.
that suit guy. So we really literally, we sat down with him and he taught us interview questions and we reviewed interview questions.
wow.
We went on interviews, so we made up resumes, put them on Monster, Career Builder. We went on interviews, answered the questions as best as we could, went back to my man and like, yo, when they ask you this, what do you say? When they ask you this, what do you say? Yo, they asked me this, I didn't know what to answer.
Right.
So from that, we actually got jobs. Like we straight made up the
You
resume.
workshop the interview, man.
Yeah, but like we owned businesses, so we actually knew like how to run a business.
Yeah.
We knew like payroll, we knew marketing, we knew customer service, we knew sales. I think naturally you're a salesperson. You built the characteristics growing up in the hood to be a phenomenal salesperson. You know how to read people, right?
Oh yeah.
Without them saying anything or with them saying very little, you know how to read people.
Street smarts,
Right?
quote unquote.
So when I got a job, it was easy. Like every job I ever worked at, I dominated. And when we would come back home or call each other, be like, yo, this work shit is easy. Like I'm at the top of the ranking report. I'm like, so this is all I got to do? Just sell? And people looking at me like I'm cheating. So I'll come to work. So my first job actually was like my first job after owning businesses, right? So fresh out of college, I had a job for like a year or two. And then we went through selling properties, then owning businesses, then to working again. So I had to work. I worked at yellowbook.com. Right. I don't know if y'all remember those commercials, but it was like one of these early marketing companies.
Okay.
It was like the yellow books.
Like the
but
yellow book, like the
yellow pages, but
they
the
they had
website.
it online.
Okay.
So I was doing marketing for them. And I had a territory and it was like go sell ads in the
Yellow
website,
pages.
like the banner and all of
I
that
see.
stuff. So I had a BMW, I had a 745. That's what was out. But I was at a job that it was like an entry level sales job. They would look at me like, yo, what's up with this dude?
Yeah,
like,
right.
Where's he from?
Like something's wild about this dude.
Yeah, he's hustling.
But I was on my job. I was like, all right, if I can make 6 figures, like just show me how and I'm gonna go do it. So I was killing it.
The clean way too. Yeah.
Killing it. It was easy because it was like, yo, you just go talk to people. How's business? Good. All right, so do an ad. It'll be better. Business is bad. All right, you need to do an ad. People are looking for you, but you're not where they looking. And
I
it
can
just
get you in
made
front of
sense.
people.
Right. It's you're doing bad because you're not in the you're not online where they going to look. Everybody's going online for a plumber, and you're not online. So
Makes sense.
I dominated. Again, here's another blessing, right? I wasn't even looking for this. Everybody, and so we shared a building with American Express, or we shared office space close to American Express. All the people at yellowbook.com would apply for these jobs at American Express. I get a call from like the hiring director. He's like, Charles Noonan, I need you. I was like, yo, who is this? Like, what do you want? He's like, I got 4 ranking reports this month. Your name is at the top. You are who I want to hire. Just straight blessing out of nowhere. I don't know anything about American Express. They denied me credit card 4 times, so I ain't even feeling American Express, right? This when they denied everybody. So
Actually, whoa, yeah.
you got denied too?
Whoa. I mean, I just remember that time where it was almost like a status symbol to have,
Yeah.
to be a part of
Yeah.
American Express. I remember the green card.
Did you get denied? That's the magic question.
I didn't apply at that time. I was around that time. I was still young,
Neither did I.
so no.
I only applied when I was able to get it.
When it was a no, when you was definitely
Right, right. That's what I. Yeah.
Yeah, so there was a time where like they just took like 1 out of. There was no formula. There was a mystique. Great branding though. There was a mystique about having the card.
Prestige even.
Yeah. So I went there and dominated. And dominating, I got my friend a job. I got 2, right? The guy that helped us get the jobs is the VP of American Express right now. So I got in there and killed it. I brought my man who I own the houses with. I'm like, yo, I did 175% to like the not the director, the VP. I'm like, look, I did 175%. We got to bring my guy in. I know he could kill it. I'm going to train him, bring him in. This dude, straight GED, straight from the streets of Harlem, right? Straight hustler. But he's like my people,
my
right?
guy.
It's
I'm
my
vouching.
guy. I got him in. So he gets in, he kills it. And I'm like, so now,
It's a good
right?
feeling.
We got to let him in because we wouldn't have jobs without him, right? So we got him in, and today he's the VP he's the VP of his division at American Express.
That's fire.
Yeah, that's my guy.
That's dope.
Shout out.
Yeah, so
Everest.
American Express was a success and a learning experience for you, I'm guessing.
Yeah, but it's something about. So my job was to work with companies that have revenues of like $200 to $250 million. I think I just have this entrepreneurial spirit. There's no way I could make $300,000 and be around companies that are making $2 million or $4 million or $12 million. So my time there was, I dominated. It was dope. It was like you get the key to the city because they got the suite at the Garden. The Barclays Center opened up.
How long was that tenure?
6 to 7 years, probably 7 years in total.
Pick up a lot of game in that time.
Yeah.
From a corporate standpoint, you learn a lot.
Yeah.
Just adding to
More
your bag
so-
of tricks as an entrepreneur.
You know one of the things I learned, the people that run these companies aren't like they're not the smartest people in the world. They're not better than anybody. They oftentimes are just in position. Like you said, they may get the information on something. Because I would entertain them. So I'm hanging out with them.
Pick them out.
And
figure
I'm
'em out.
really getting to know people and understand business. And it's more so like information, drive, putting it into action,
Yeah.
right? Your network, because you might own a camera company. He's going to have a tripod company, and he's going to have a dummy battery company. And you guys been doing business for 20 years because your pops had a store where you sold all 3.
Right.
And you
Right.
and you
Just
know what
being
they
in
lacked?
position.
What?
Weakness.
Yeah.
Those people lack
And
weakness.
opportunity.
There could be there, but those people that know how to build those networks
Yeah.
and be able to deliver day in and day out. You know what I mean? Like you got to be hardened in order to keep going towards that and build those things.
I would agree. And the sooner you embrace that, the sooner you embrace failure. A lot of times I think people are scared of failure.
Absolutely.
That's the biggest thing. Like coming from where I come from, right? If I say, yo, Danza, Kato, yo, I could go meet with the people that run Don Julio. They trying to give us like 52 mil. Y'all gonna be like, all right, bet. What you want me to, what you need me to do, right?
What's that looking like?
And if I come back and don't get the contract, we gonna laugh at it. We gonna joke. We're embracing it like, yo, good try.
Yeah.
Like Like for me to go to get a job at American Express, going on an interview, I was fearless. I'm like, one, I'm kind of cool. Two, like y'all ain't give me the card anyway. Y'all got to tell me about the job. But meanwhile, it was like this coveted job in the city, right? And it's just that I didn't care because I was kind of cool, and I wasn't afraid for them to tell me no.
Yeah.
Right. I've never been afraid because of where I started. Right. And like you said, you got to be hardened. Where I started from to where I am, I'm so hardened that a no does nothing to me. I already made it in my mind.
Right.
Like, what's a no really going to do to somebody like me who came from like absolutely nothing? I'm so used to no that it's laughable.
Right.
It almost fuels me to be like, yo, let's go to Ciroc. Yo, let's go to such and such. Yo, I can't wait to put another brand on the table and show them. That's all it does. It doesn't defeat me, and it definitely doesn't like shake me in any way.
Yeah.
Well, and to your point, in doing so, maybe Don Julio said no. But now when you go to Ciroc, you're armed with the information that you got from that initial experience. Now, had you never even had the brevity to say, Don Julio, I want to work with you, you don't know what the fuck could have happened, good or bad. So the fact that you went and failed, like we say, fail early, fail fast.
Yeah.
So you could, gain the most traction in the long run. It's absolutely real.
From an
Very true.
entrepreneurial standpoint, that's the way to get it. You find out what they want. Even if it's a no, you find out like what the qualifications are.
Yeah.
Right. And if you really about what you want or you trying to get, you have the heart to double back and say, hey, Kato, I know you told me no, but I'm a professional and I really want this. Could you explain to me why? Could you tell me why you ain't signed with us?
Right.
Oh, we curse on the pod. We endorse certain political candidates, right? Oh, because we look a little bit on the red side sometimes. All right, cool. Hey, bro, yo, let's just do a whole nother segment on that dude you love, bro. But I think we could get Ciroc because now they said everything else was hitting, but we can't be like promoting during a freaking nomination.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Facts.
that's how you get it.
Yeah.
Wow.
And those no's really are fuel. Like, take it all the way back, right? For us as men, you walk up to a girl, you go to get her phone number. Back in the day, you go to get her phone number, not her Instagram, not the app, right? And I always shot for the stars, always. Those festivals in the city. They got the big festivals. You see the pretty girl walking by. I'm like, I'm gonna go get her number.
Yeah.
And as soon as it was mentioned, and you're with your boys, you don't got a choice. You either walk out of that little area you're in, sitting in the corner, and you go make that move, or the rest of it, you're just getting shit on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you got to do it. For me, I was always like, whatever. You know what I mean? If she says no to me, it's cool. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna play the game right anyway. So I'm like, all right, just give me here, just write this on the. You know what I mean? Just write this on here. It's cool. I'm gonna get you anyway. You know what I mean? And that was my mindset. Is I'm gonna get you anyway. So you could say no right now, but that's cool. I'm gonna see you later.
Now
too.
you know who I am.
You know what I mean? So regardless, you won't be able to deny me for that long. You know what I mean? I was that confident. Even if the no stood forever, it didn't matter. But we learned through sales that it takes six no's to even get a yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not supposed to get the girl I'm with right now told me no from the jump. Didn't matter.
Yeah.
Now we got two kids.
Sometimes no, you could just how you look at it too, right? No, in the successful entrepreneurial world is next opportunity.
I love.
So she's gonna say no, but the girl in the next section or the next one that you go up to, right, is the next opportunity, and go see if you could get that one. And then before the night is over, you might come home with like. And did y'all used to play the game, see who could get the most numbers?
Hell yeah. How
Everybody,
many-
my man, my man
what
is
it was all
locked in.
about, yeah.
Who could get the most, right?
Yeah.
That is something, it's fun, but like
What
you
a
said,
time.
it hardens you.
Yeah.
Because now you feel like you could get any woman you want, right? it's you figure it out, right? You make them laugh. You look a certain
Like,
way.
oh, that worked. Oh,
right?
nope, that did not work. Never again. You know.
That didn't work.
Take
Oh,
it.
oh, oh,
No,
oh.
I'm saying, like, you know,
Yeah.
after going so many times, you could say, man, this one always works.
Yeah,
You know,
Exactly.
however,
Yeah, I got the trick.
you got data now.
And you pick up the house phone. Get off the phone.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Somebody else pick it up.
Oh
You know
man.
what I mean?
Realistically, we can apply these principles to everything, to any industry, and be successful. If you're not scared to go to like get the information that you need to be successful, if you're not scared to try, right? I just did, and it's funny because Melanie kind of went with me in a meeting with the mayor, and I asked the community board for $1 million, right? So if you just think about this curly haired kid standing on a welfare line till his feet hurts, to doing a proposal for $1 million, and the idea and concept of getting $1 million check, it's like, that's why I say I'll be blessed, because I know, like, I got the heart and the audacity to be like, hey, cut me $1 million check. I'm gonna do something special in your city. Those things make you, those people, for my entrepreneurs, those people that don't answer your phone call when you asking for something, for those people that told you no, like, let that fuel you. Let that be the reason, like, you really go hard. Let that be the reason that you don't stop when you get tired, right? When it don't look good. Like, let that be the reason you make 10 more calls or reach out to 10 more people or make 10 more offers.
You gotta throw that out there ASAP for the people.
You gotta
That's
thank
a
the
great
haters. You gotta
message,
thank
yeah.
the people that say no to you, because that shit makes you mad.
So real.
And then don't it feel good when now the girl next to the girl that said no gave you the number, y'all having good conversation. God forbid you have a good dance with her. And now y'all looking, you know what I'm talking about, right?
it's
Now
like,
y'all
hey,
looking
that
like
could've
a
been- that
a
could've
couple for 14 years, and this girl's having the best time of her life. You know how bad that girl feels?
Yeah.
And you go an extra
He
special.
wanted me first anyway.
Exactly.
Right.
She's salty now, right?
Yeah, not no
But-
more though, sweetheart.
We need
But
to
you
leave.
feel good.
Hold
It's
this
time to
L.
go.
Yeah,
You feel good,
hell
though.
yeah.
And she'll be there when you circle back.
Yeah.
When you
That's
circle
also
back.
true. That's also a thing.
These are the same principles
Sick game.
that we have to embrace this stuff. And once you embrace it, that's your armor. So when you say being hardened, right, is you could look at your negatives, you could look at all the negative stuff that happened to you. You could be a victim, or you could just be like, nah, I'm gonna wear that shit. That's my shield.
Now in 2018 you get to Landbank, right?
Yeah.
What caused the exit at American Express? You just parted ways? How'd that work?
Yeah, entrepreneurship. Again, man, I didn't have a lot of guidance growing up. I had one person, this girl, who was like, "Oh, you stupid for leaving American Express. This is the best job. You ain't got to do nothing. You got the key to the city. You making $300,000-$400,000. Like, you're crazy." Just one. My crew was like, "Yo, if that's how you feel, like, you've been hitting it out of the park forever. So, like, we just gonna rock with you, right?" I wanted more. So my mindset was, I had a network of people I entertained. I wanted to open an insurance company, and they agreed that I would do their insurance for them. So I did that, but again, I opened the wrong type of company. I opened like a franchise company, like a State Farm and an Allstate, but they were $200 million companies, and the policies that they needed were like commercial policies. They were more like Hallmark, Berkshire Hathaway, bigger companies that do corporate insurance. It wasn't the personal lines or like the
Mom
State
and pop.
Farm, we want your car and your house insurance. So kind of bumped my head there a little bit, but I was happy for the freedom. I was happy to like have my schedule and do what I want. I made good money there. Hit it out of the park there
man.
too.
But insurance is tough.
It is.
It is.
It
the,
is.
The barrier for I'm in insurance, and the barrier for entry, come to find out,
Yeah.
is extremely difficult. It's the way it's run is wild.
The industry
without saying so
on a
much.
bigger
Yeah.
the bigger scale or the smaller scale,
Both.
like
It's
personal line.
all of it is
The
wild.
entry into like the franchise, the retail shops, or just like
Well, I only do like subsidized health insurance. Like,
Okay.
Like affordable health insurance through the Affordable
Okay.
Care Act, through Marketplace and stuff like that. I never did like corporate employers coverage and things like that with the larger accounts. So ours is like 1-to-1, single family household sizes,
Yeah.
you know, smaller, subsidized again, you
Yeah.
know, families of 3 or 4.
it's
But,
tough. We gotta make it happen.
As far as just contracting and getting everything approved the way you need to and getting proper upline and the right onboarding and the right education, and then
Yeah.
once you take your courses, you still don't know how to sell health insurance.
Yeah, that's
You're-
a whole nother
you're
that's a whole
just-
nother topic.
yeah.
That's a whole nother
yeah,
skill set.
yeah.
So from there, like the franchise ran itself. So I really didn't have a whole lot to do. I was living good, but gentrification hit and house prices started to rise. And to most people, they would feel like, yo, I'm killing it. My values are up, right? But me, knowing my upbringing now, I want my kids close to me, right? I like that family structure where we're just like super bonded and just like close. Like I don't really necessarily want them to like go move to Nebraska, right? So I like them close to me.
Yeah.
So I thought
Right.
about it and I'm like, damn, they kind of like me on the like chill side, lazy side. They playing video games. Like they ain't gonna be able to afford no house where we live right now. So my background in real estate, which we went through, I was like, let me just go buy them some properties as cheap as I can and just let them get the cash flow from it. So I was figuring like let me just cash out on like $40,000-$50,000 houses, go Section 8, whether pay $900 in Buffalo, $1,500, wherever I could find. I wanted the cheapest houses and to just put that money in a bank account for them every month so that when it's time for them to buy a house, they'll have money. And then that's why I found Landbank houses.
That sound full circle like what your mother did, but this time you like put them in on it.
Yeah. Basically,
The remix.
yeah, man. So I saw houses for $1,000. So the Detroit Land Bank, it's called buildingdetroit.org,
Okay.
right? They will sell you houses starting at 1,000. They may end up 3, 4, 5,000, but they'll sell you their vacant properties at $1,000. So I kind of went crazy with those. I bought a bunch of those, and it wasn't easy. So in New York,
At that price, I
Oh.
imagine.
yeah.
And
So
just-
it's not the price though; it was the market. But
Okay.
another land bank I want to give, I don't know how close Buffalo and Syracuse is, but the Syracuse Land Bank, it's called Greater Syracuse Land Bank. They have houses too for like $4,000 or $5,000. So that's a land bank that we buy, that the land bank team buys properties from sometimes, and they're good opportunities. I struggled in Detroit because the market wasn't ready. Like in New York,
even at
in
that.
some of these different cities, right? You could go to Home Depot and you see a bunch of workers outside and you can go hire them and they'll get work done for you. Like right now. They like ready to go. Is that what your Home Depot looks
Oh,
like
yeah.
here?
Oh yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
it's like here. In Detroit, it's not like that. Right? You actually have to try and hire people to do your work. And the people that you hire, that I was hiring at the time, they put me through it. Like they stole deposits, they stole appliances.
Yeah.
They went with me to Home Depot, bought the appliances, put them in the house and stole them. Right? So I got my ass kicked in Detroit from a financial perspective. But again, it all circles back, man, to be a blessing for me. So instead of renovating the houses, I started figuring out that the land banks, they have a checklist. So they sell you the house for $5,000 and they have a checklist and they say, if you do this checklist, we'll give you the deed to the house and you own it free and clear. So I started buying the houses and just literally, instead of trying to renovate them and rent them out, I was literally doing the things that was on the checklist. I would get the deed to the house and then sell it. So I made a lot of money that way. And then, of course, Here come my here come the two homies, right? Here come the New York guys.
You,
Yo,
you the champ.
you put us on in Detroit.
Yeah, you the
Yo,
man.
show us Detroit. I'm like, man, y'all don't want no parts of it, right? So of course I have to. So I'm teaching them, like, hey, like you gotta be careful. You gotta put a camera on a tree, right, and just watch your property, because there's no power in these houses, right? They're vacant properties. So in short, a land bank is a government agency that's gonna go into underdeveloped cities, create a deal with them to wipe away the old taxes, water bills, electric bills, like get all that stuff off the title, sell it to individuals under these requirements, right? So we're going to say we're going to make people renovate the houses in order for us to give them to them for $5,000, right? We'll make them do the things on the checklist. And in return, because if not, they'll just sit, because it's not worth $40,000 to put into it with an IRS bill, with a lien, with a backwater bill.
Nobody will touch it.
Nobody will touch it. So they figured out how to solve the problem, to bring the properties to productive use. And what it does, each county has to make taxes. They have like financials that they have to meet. So the exchange is, for the city, give us those houses that's like vacant on those blocks. We'll get them back on the tax roll for you, right? Because if we sold them to Charles, he's going to clean them up, he's going to clean them out, he's going to renovate them, and he's going to start paying taxes on it. So that's the exchange for land banks. Land bank houses are just the houses that they sell.
Okay.
So I started teaching, and I started showing my friends, and they were like, yo, I need you to go there with me. They were a little nervous to go, because it's Detroit. At this time, it could have been like top 3 murder capital of the country. Right? It could have been. It was bad, but the reality of it is, in most markets, the construction workers get a pass. The developers get a pass, right? You see them on the block, you don't bother them. You see the construction guy renovating a house, they not like what crime is afraid of.
Right.
So we had our way renovating in Detroit. We finally got some traction, and then my friends would ask me to pay them. I mean, they would ask me if they could pay me to kind of walk them through the whole process.
Yeah. How is this working for you?
Yeah. So they're scared of Detroit, and I was just not, for some reason. Like I feel so relatable to people in underdeveloped neighborhoods, because like they're us.
Actually have that comfort level.
Yeah, they're us. The language is the same. I know what you're doing here. You know what I'm doing here. Like, I'm trying to renovate the bando next to Miss Sherry's house, right?
And you could have that conversation with them a little bit easier right off the jump. Like, look, please don't do any of that bullshit with me. I can get you money. I can help you make money. We can help you build and shit like that. But don't play any of the bullshit with me, because I already been through it. I know what it's like. It's people trying to steal shit here and there. Let's get this money.
They embrace it, believe it or not. So all the like the hood dudes that I've worked with, they want their city to come back. Like, Detroit was popping one time. Detroit was vibrant. Detroit has history of being like this bomb ass city. They come out, right?
Decadent.
Detroit got swag. They got history. They got culture. The motor companies left, and like they took the money out the city. So only thing left is crime. Like in the heart of the city, there's so many vacant properties that they don't want to see that, right? Every I'm gonna say hood person got a sister, a brother, a mother, a father, and you say, yo, we doing the houses on such and such block. They cool with it. They embrace it.
Yeah,
they embrace it. So I just didn't have the fear. And then there's people that's robbing houses and stuff like that too, but the community embraces you.
Yeah,
like those people on the block embrace you. So I started teaching. It just grew. I started teaching people, and then I wrote a book called Hacking Land Bank Properties. I put that on Amazon. That was it turned out to be a bestseller, which crazy blessing to me, right? Man. Again, you gotta think where I came from,
right?
To get this sticker that says Amazon bestseller, I was like, oh, we killing it now.
Yeah,
right?
man.
Like I
I'm
was
everywhere at once.
I was accomplished as a person at that point.
That's how we feel about the plaque. Slightly.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Nah, yeah. Before that though, y'all felt like accomplished as individuals.
Oh yeah, I mean we've had our moments, but in this
In this
specific
space.
business, if we got like an Amazon bestseller sticker, I'd imagine you feel like that. You know,
Yeah, yeah. That's the.
feeling good.
I don't want to say
that's the
like
100,000
100,000 views.
subscribers.
Subscribers.
Yeah.
Oh,
Now
it's a
we're at
good
like
one.
a 500,000, close to.
yeah.
It's interesting too though about your story, how you, after all of that, ended up becoming a teacher. You know, you came back.
He reminds me.
You came back to
Look,
teach.
I didn't notice that.
But you fulfilled what you initially set out to do. You became a teacher.
This is the first time
Really?
in my entire life
You
that
said it. You
that-
wrote a, you
that
wrote
that's
a,
been
you,
re-
you wrote a
revealed.
book, my brother. I don't think I said Amazon bestseller. Okay?
Appreciate it.
Like,
And that was before ChatGPT. I
so,
wrote
okay,
it.
okay, hey, that's a flex.
I wrote
you know,
it. I wrote it.
Like you.
Yeah,
wrote
that's
it.
so wild because it is gonna change.
But the
Yeah.
you know the just the path, the path. You know, the story that you were saying, growing from these neighborhoods and then being able to communicate
Yeah.
with these neighborhoods and bring back the information and working with Amex and bringing that back, all that information that you collected. And now I can come back and converse with somebody who may not understand it or has not had the same exposure to those types of experiences. It's big.
Yeah.
I have a buddy of mine, he's a police officer, and it's the same thing. He's an African-American, he's a Haitian African-American police officer. But when he goes on these calls and it's in the not so friendly neighborhoods, and you got Jack over there like, get your ass on the damn ground. He can say, Jack, this one's me, okay?
Yeah.
Talk to me, man. What's going on?
Yeah.
What happened? You know, it's a completely different conversation, and it's received different as well.
Of course.
It's the manner in which you're able to communicate with these people, and it's respected too. It's just interesting hearing you speak to see where everything kind of laced and
Yeah.
came back to.
Yeah, man.
so now teaching, you had something.
No, I'm just thinking and processing.
All right. It's funny that you mentioned about the teacher thing because that's what I was noticing throughout the entire thing. It's like he is a teacher. He's still a teacher.
And he kept saying to us, like you're not hearing, saying to us about how he kept throwing the rope back. It's like we're all climbing out of the hole.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and tell my man G, hey, listen, I'm making moves over here at Amex. This is the play.
Yeah.
You know, and coming back and listen, I'm doing this thing. I got my stuff in Detroit. You're teaching.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. Definitely.
Just an observation.
This what I noticed though. That abundance mindset that I have is like everybody can have some, right? Even if it's a watermelon, like, and we don't got a lot of fruit or food. It's like it's hot outside. Like, cut the watermelon up. We put it in the metal tray, right? The metal, what's the name? The aluminum tray, and let everybody eat. And something about that, in my opinion, it's just in me to where, like, we don't have to be poor. We don't have to struggle financially. And that's how I teach. Sometimes, a lot of times people say, like, I'm passionate when I teach. Like, you could tell that I want you to win the way that I teach people, the way that I, like, just share information. I really do. I really do be wanting people to win. Because I don't think, like if you come across me and you want me to teach you what I know, that's enough for me. So I'm gonna go hard and be like, Kato, I'm like, Kato, you gotta call that contractor at 8, bro. Because once he gets started for his day, he's done. Get on his schedule, be first. He gonna say you was first when he pick up, by the way. He gonna be like, yeah, I was going over there. Just do it. Like, I'll be like pushing people to really succeed.
And you also strike me as someone that's a little more transparent than others in trying to help somebody win. Like, look, I can show you the numbers. This is how you do it, you know? So you strike me as somebody that you're
Don't
you're
take
open
my word
book,
for it.
you
Yeah,
know?
look.
Even talking about the losses, because most people don't do that. You were talking about the times where things didn't work out for you. Most people be like, oh, yeah, it was always great from day one.
Win.
I killed it.
Nah, no, I got robbed. Hey, yo, I'm gonna tell you a funny story real quick, man. So I'm doing like my first house in Detroit, right? Super proud of what I'm doing. This is the long-term play. This solves things for my kids, right? There's a verse in the Bible that says a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. So now I'm on that now, right? So now I'm like, yeah,
That's
like
law.
yo, like watch. Yeah, to me in my mind, that's law. So I'm like, yeah, I gotta really lay it down. So my first house, right? I do the whole house. I want the people that's renting the house from me to really feel like they in a dope crib. I'm almost saying if I'm living this way, I wanna provide that for somebody else.
Yeah.
Like I guarantee, if y'all do a house for
Back to the
somebody,
abundance.
it's not gonna be the cheapest tile. It ain't gonna be like the peeling stick.
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
You're gonna do it decent.
Yeah, hell
You
yeah.
gonna do it
Linoleum.
decently. So I got stainless steel matching. I don't even got this in my house at the time. Stainless steel matching stove, refrigerator in the
I
crib.
see where it's going.
The boxes are outside in front of the house,
Shit.
right? I don't know that Detroit gets down like this yet. I have no clue they get down like this. So I'm cashing out. I'm like, right? Stainless steel, everything. The realtor that I'm working with is like, hey, we got a single mother. She's gonna move in with her 2 kids. I'm gonna bring her such and such. I'm gonna bring her on like on Friday, right? So I'm like, all right, bet. Danza, you know we grew up in a cold environment, right? Detroit gets cold, real cold, right? So here's me, good old nice guy, right? Wet behind the ears, don't really know the market, right? I tell the contractor, yo, before you leave, yo, blast the heat. So when they walk in tomorrow, what happens?
Yeah, it's nice and comfortable.
It's not, they get smacked. You ever get smacked by heat?
Yep, yep.
And on the opposite, have you ever walked in your house and it's colder inside than it is outside?
Yeah.
Right? So I've done that happened to me before.
yeah,
I'm like, shit, right?
It is cold.
So here I am not knowing. I'm like, yo, blast the heat, bro. Like put that on like 88 because they coming tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Brand new furnace, right? Brand new stainless steel stove, stainless steel fridge, matching. It ain't one Kenmore and the other one Samsung or whatever. They match it, right?
We did it up.
Brand new furnace in the basement. So I'm a little late. I'm going to meet them. I'm a little late. Get a call from the realtor. She's like, "Hey Charles, the heat's not working." I'm like, no, just turn it on. This is the on switch. Just turn it on. She's like, "Yeah, it's on." I'm like, "Did it click?" She's like, "Yeah." Call a contractor. "Yo, bro, what's up with the heat? I told you to leave it on last night. They over there." He's like, "I did. It was warm." I'm like, "All right, I'll be over there." Yo, I get over there immediately, right? My shit used to be turned off. Sometime it was the pilot. So I got the little lighter stick.
Yeah.
I'm going downstairs, right? To light the pilot. This is what's in my mind. I didn't go past the kitchen. I go straight here. How you doing? Good, nice to meet you. Let me just turn it on. The pilot must have went out. It's brand new.
Oh, shit.
Yo, the wires and the ducts are hanging from where the furnace used to be.
Oh my God.
Shit completely ripped out. So you need like 2 electric wires for the shits are hanging like this. The duct work, right, is hanging. They ripped the boiler right out.
This shit nice and hot. This shit working good.
Shit.
Coming home.
And then
It's
when
not
you-
even the worst of it, bro.
I was gonna say what happened to the kitchen.
I go upstairs.
What about the stainless? What about the
Yo,
Kenmore?
I go upstairs, right? So there's no signs of a break-in whatsoever. There's nothing. She used the key to get in. I go upstairs. The whole shit is emptied out in the kitchen. There's no fridge. And bust this shit. I left the blue tape on there purposely. You know the blue tape when you get a new appliance?
Yeah.
I said, yo, no, don't take that off. I want the tenant to
that.
take
They
it off.
left
Yeah.
it there. You in
I want the
kitchen.
tenant to take that off
Yeah.
to get that feeling like
Wow.
peel. You know that sound?
Yeah. Like popping tags
Yo.
off new clothes. Like just.
Yes, that shit that when it happened for us the first time, like I wanted so bad to give that feeling to somebody, bro. I cried, like I really cried. I was like, yo, I'm so sorry. They took the stuff out. And she was like, the tenant was like, I saw the boxes. I was like, yeah, we had everything in here new for you because the landlord was telling me about you.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, well, in Detroit, you don't put that stuff in there until after I rent it. I was like, for real? She was like, no, nobody leaves stuff like that in the house like that. She's like, you left it? I was like, yeah. I don't know if it was the contractor or not.
Sound like there was something going on. Too clean.
Plot twist, it was the tenants. Nah, I'm joking. I'm messing
It was
with
the
you.
contractor, somebody on the block. But as I started to like grow in the market, they were like, bruh, like all lights off, and they see that nice white clean smoke coming out the chimney. Oh, that's food. That's
Word.
food. You dumb enough to leave the stickers in the window, right? So you put new window, you know them yellow stickers?
Yeah.
Like, yo, you dumb enough to leave that. Like, you almost teasing
It's a
them.
lick. Yeah.
You almost teasing them. Like, that's what it looks like to them.
Mm-hmm.
So for everybody that want to get in the game, man, just make sure you talk to people who have been through some losses. I don't care who it is. Just ask them, like, tell me what not to do. Like, tell me everything don't do, right? You're going to you're going to ask, man, if you go into like a real impoverished neighborhood and you're trying to renovate, ask, is it common if you put the furnace in after they move or after they do a lease? It take 2 days. It take a day and a half. You could do the duct work and everything, but the furnace, ask if you could put the furnace in last. The appliances, ask, is it okay? Put them in, take the pictures, go put it in storage. Because trying to develop an impoverished city, they need that fridge. They need that stove.
Yeah, man.
So just be careful out there when you guys are trying to get into this real estate thing from that perspective.
Can only imagine, man.
Now, when we're sitting here listening to you talk and how you're teaching real estate, right? Like you're teaching us pretty much the framework of real estate right now, speaking on it. A lot of us have fear hearing things like what happened with DJ Envy, right? And everything that went on with that. So like a lot of us have fear, like, nah, I don't want to get into it because that could be a scam. So what would you say to rebuttal that? Like people who say, you're just scamming people. We seen what DJ Envy did. So.
So for one, I know there was some mix up there, but I don't necessarily believe DJ Envy had a lot to do with that.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
That's
I didn't know if that was going to be like.
That's what I took from that. He co-signed what he believed to be one thing and didn't, simply wasn't.
But that is going to be the conversation, right? He's the head, and so like he's the one that people see, right? They're not gonna look at the other guy. They're gonna look at him, and a lot of people are gonna think about the DJ Envy thing. I forgot the other guy's name already.
And that's why you can't co-sign for people.
Yeah,
but
there you go. No co-sign.
Well, it's the fact that Envy, in my opinion, the way I saw it, he was used to help blast it, get it out to the world, amplify my voice.
Yeah.
This is a
Platform,
program.
I mean.
Because I remember hearing it when I first heard about it. It was presented as an opportunity for ethnic people to have a better opportunity and get education, to invest into these properties and change their lives. That's what he believed. That's how he was carrying the flag. But the other guy was like, man, we about to make some money.
Yeah, and this is the thing. It happens with me all the time. People feel comfortable giving you their money as opposed to doing the work.
Absolutely.
So what I would say to that, right? Don't shy away from following people that are coming back from where you're trying to go. Don't shy away from getting advice from mentors. Don't shy away from investing in education for somebody that's doing something. Like, don't let that deter you. Use your common sense, right? I believe, or the hearsay is that they were giving the guy money to do it for him.
Yeah.
The whole thing is he's teaching you how to do it. So now you go with somebody else, or even, and they're right next to each other, right? So you went with him and you gave him money. That's where you kind of went wrong. Whether he asked for it or dressed it up.
Yeah. Still gotta do a little bit of work.
You gotta do like the way I teach is more so. I'm gonna bring you to the auction. I'm gonna give you the Landbank, DetroitLandbank.org, Birmingham Landbank, right? Muncie Land Bank, Muncie Indian. I'm giving them to you right now, right? I teach people how to do it. So you can go do it on your own. I'm going to teach you how to protect yourself and do it. I don't do business with anybody because I'm at the level now where it's probably unfair if I did business with a student because I know so much and I'm okay with a loss, but they may be putting up their last like $2,000-$3,000 and can't, right? It's everything. So I could take a loss and I'm cool, right? I'm going on to the next one, but other people can't. So if you could learn from somebody who can teach you how, don't be lazy, do the work and do it. Just do it. It's very few that do teach. And that's probably why what they was doing took off so much, because we don't have people that teach us this stuff. It's not taught in school. And that really gave like a lot of that gave a nasty taste in people's mouths, but it really could have been a good thing. It really could have been.
Definitely. And it's scary. And shout out to DJ Envy again. I really don't think he had anything to do with it, but he became the face of it. So when I mention it, you know, that's just pretty much the DJ Envy thing. I promise you, I actually forgot the other guy's name. Does anybody know?
It's like on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember.
I was gonna say like Caesar Pena.
Yeah.
There you
Pena.
go.
But for whatever reason, I thought it was the dog trainer guy. It's the only reason I didn't say it.
Yeah.
Because you know the Caesar, the dog trainer guy. You know.
Flipping that J, yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't want to be the guy. I don't want to make the dog.
Yeah.
I like dogs. I don't want to make the dog trainer guy look bad. But
Here's the thing though, we can't let that stop us from doing business together.
absolutely.
We can't let that stop us from partnering with people. We just can't, like, just use discernment, use your common sense. If they teaching you how to do it. Don't be afraid to fail, because now you got me to ask, yo, Charles, when you said do the windows, should I put the windows in now, later? Like what? Like, where you at? All right, hey bro, go get used windows over there for a little while. I don't know if that neighborhood ready for the brand new ones. They might take them, right? And then like some of that stuff, man, like how much can we be responsible? Because, right, I want everybody to eat. So I got people with a clothing brand. They be like, yo, Charles, wear this for me. I'm going to wear it. I'm going to post it. I'm going to blast it out. Somebody say, repost something. Give me a shout. I'm going to just do it. That doesn't necessarily make me responsible for like the one wash and it got super shrunk, right? And it's a cheap fabric. So it's like,
Damn, yeah.
So now look at the next person that's going to ask Envy, yo, I got whatever, right? I'm opening up microphones for a podcast. Yo, could you put my mics on your show?
Yeah.
He's going to be like, nah, bro, like doors closed.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to work with nobody now.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
That's rough.
So let's say I come up to you and I say, hey, I got an extra $10,000 laying around.
Mm-hmm.
Can you help me flip this? What do you got to say to that?
So my concept, man, it's not really, I want to create wealth. I want you to have properties for your kids. First thing right off the bat, like we bonded over the kids, right?
Yeah.
The first thing I'm gonna be like is Danza, man, I want you to buy properties and hold them. I don't like that flip concept. It's not long term, right? We've all had $40,000 and blown it. We've all had $50,000 and blown it. And then from a wealth perspective, right, our ownership from a minority perspective is in the basement. We're renting now more than ever. The foreclosure rate now today is like sky high. Like people are on the verge of losing their house or behind on more than 2 payments. And this is a study in the New York Times that shows like, I think it's like 38%, and this is Sunday's New York Times, 38% of mortgages owned by African Americans are either 2 to 3 payments behind or at risk of foreclosure, right? So my whole thing with Landbank houses was we need to buy houses that we can afford and then buy houses that we can afford to keep. So I want us to keep our houses and rent them out. So my advice to you, and I'm going to share something that I'm doing later for people too, but my advice to you in the immediate is to go to like a tax auction. They have like, I think it's Putnam County, Volkswagen County, Lee County. They have auctions and land banks where you can buy these properties from, these land bank properties or low cost properties, I would recommend you get in the game there, renovate, and I would teach like a lot of safety precautions. One of the things I teach people is don't pay contractors heavy deposits up front, and don't pay them with cash. Pay them with PayPal if you can. So here's just a gem for anybody getting into real estate, right? Like you're going to tell your contractor what your terms are, right? So I want you to renovate my garage, but I'm going to pay you with PayPal. So if you got a PayPal account, just send me an invoice that way. What that does is when they don't renovate it properly, when they don't do it right, when they don't finish it, you get 2 opportunities to dispute that charge. One with PayPal, and then the other one is with your credit card. So it's 2 layers of protection. Again, me teaching is like, you got 2 kids, I got 2 kids. I know that money could go a long way, right? We're not losing that $10,000 by any means. So, hey, we need this basement done. We need the garage done. Hey, I'm gonna pay you with PayPal. Is that cool? Right? And if it's not, then you're not the one for me. Let me just work with somebody else who can send me an invoice through PayPal. It's just little protective things like that.
Make all the difference.
Using your discernment, right? I say this a lot too. And this is just good information in general. Red flags don't turn green. They never turn green. And that's why we talked about energy. You like, yo, I don't care. I'm not doing business with somebody who I don't get the vibe from. That's right. It's the same thing with real estate. If you call, if somebody give you a number to a contractor and you got to call him 8 times for him to answer, that's a red flag, right? Because if something go wrong, to get him to come fix it, like you don't want to call him 8 times, right? So if he show up late, hey, we're gonna meet at 10 o'clock, and he comes at 11 or he's late, like those are red flags.
Sign of things to come.
It's a sign of things to come, but we just be so into the project and so happy we ignore them. And then when we get burnt, it's like you ignored the red sign. It's just like everything else. You have to use discernment. You got to use common sense, and you got to layer the protection. You got to layer yourself with protective measures.
Are contractors the #1 enemy for real estate?
Yes. Yeah. I hate them. Wow. I hate contractors.
Wow.
I hate contractors. I'm gonna tell you right now, man. Contractors, it's just a thing with contractors where they don't tell you the price up front. They tell you the price that you want to hear so they could get the job. How many times we did work with a contractor and they say, hey man, it's gonna be a little bit more because we ain't see this or we ain't see that, right? Then to get them back to finish something, right? So your lady be like, hey, they ain't finished that corner over there. To get them back to finish that after you paid them already, it'd be hard. They just be like shitty to me. They be unethical, man. They be taking money, taking deposits from people up front. They be asking 50% up front for a deposit. And once you give the deposit, oftentimes now the ball's in their court.
Yeah,
so you done coughed up 50%. So you buy a house for $5,000. They say $25,000 to renovate it. They're gonna tell you everything for $25,000. You're gonna give them 12. They're gonna ask you for $12,500. You give them $12,500. Now you sitting there. Yeah. You calling the dude. He ain't answering.
Your clock started, but he's like, "I'll get to you when I can."
He on his time now. Yeah. He on his time.
Because now you're obligated to stick around and wait.
And now you feel in that position where you calling him to get some work done. But I'm gonna tell you the safest way, bro. I'm gonna tell you the safest way, and this is like the new way of doing real estate. And I'm gonna shout your guy out in a minute, right? You know who I'm talking about, right? The new way of doing real estate is developing. It's building from the ground up. Okay. Here's why, right? All that fix and flip stuff, man. I actually took a tally, like how many people we really know in our immediate circle that got rich off of fixing and flipping properties. It's very few. It's very few. The people that's doing well in my circle is very few of them, and I'm deep into real estate. My friends are real estate people. It's very few of them that are rich off of this fix and flip strategy. It's like a perpetual circle of buying, fixing, selling, renovating, pulling money out. Like me and Danza can't pull $50,000 out of a house that we plan to leave to our kids. Because who we taking the $50,000 from? We taking it from our kids. Our kids got to pay that, right?
Yeah.
So we not in that space. Like, that's just not like the smartest thing to do. And then when we think about the developers, right? Your guy, the guy we used to look up to, we used to praise for his business acumen as a developer, Donald Trump,
Yeah.
right? It started with Fred Trump. Fred Trump was a developer, big in New York City. He owned 2,700 pieces of real estate in New York City in their portfolio that he developed. They developed the Trump Towers. So from a real estate perspective, from a developer perspective, and developers are the people that build the properties, right? Like, your guy was a goon, bro. He was a goon. Shout out to Donald Trump for being a developer that we all looked up to, right? Here's the thing.
Shout out to the babies.
Yeah.
Shout out to the babies, man. Look, developing is where I want our people to go, and I'm passionate as hell about this, right? To develop a property, there's so many safety measures, right? There's so many safety measures, and this is why. You have to buy the land, but you can go to any land bank and buy land. You can go to a tax deed auction, a delinquent sales auction, and buy land. Land is cheap, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for land. You buy the land, it's an exchange. You ain't gonna get robbed buying land from the city or from an auction, right? To build the house, you gotta go to an architect. You come up with the house in your mind, or you just say, I want a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom. They're gonna show you plans that they have, or you're gonna just make one up of what you want, right? You exchange $1,500 for the plans. No robbery, safe. You on your way. You're gonna get a loan from a bank as a developer. I have like 3 banks that we can use that will lend you money to build a house from the ground up with no experience, right? This is why I love developing. This is why we have to do developing. It's super easy. The plans are going to tell the builder. So you go to Google, you get a builder, right? Simple. You go to Google, you find a builder that can build your house for you. Here's how easy this is, bro, and how safe this is. The bank's going to give you the money to build the house from the ground up, right? They base the money that they give you on the value the house is going to be after it's built. So houses around here, let's just say, are worth, can we give a number? Is that cool?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't.
So in this area, what are
Yeah,
they all
where we
worth?
gonna
I
be
would
at
say
right
that
now?
I would say in this area right here, at least 600,000-700,000.
600,000-700,000.
Yeah.
Let's go to low end, 600,000, right? The cost, what size square foot house is this?
I rent this spot out, so I would say it's probably about 2,000.
2,000 square
Yeah.
feet, right? The cost to build a 2,000 square foot house may be $300,000, right? The bank's going to give you a loan based on it selling or being worth 600,000, right? It only cost in materials and labor 300,000, right? So here's the layers of protection. The builder gives you what's called a draw schedule, meaning he's going to do the work. You're going to get a draw from the bank and pay him. This is why it's so safe. This is why I recommend developing for anybody, developing for newbies, developing for experienced people. And this is why I want to be the face of development, right? I want to be the black face, the face of development for black people.
Okay.
They're going to build, they clear the land, they're going to build the foundation. And I show this on Instagram. Like, I show my houses being built.
Yeah.
They clear the land, they dig for the foundation, they pour the foundation. That's phase 1. They get it inspected by the city. They pull permits. They get it inspected by the city. Then they say, hey, Kato, we finish the foundation. Here's the receipt for the inspection saying that it passed. Can you pay us? You now take those pictures, send it to the bank pays, right? Then they go to section 2, right? Framing. They do the framing, the roof, frame out the whole house. It gets passed by a city inspector first before they go to the next level. They checking the type of nails that they use. There's a such thing as a nail inspection, right? They checking the nails, the spacing between they check everything. Pass it, give a green sticker, then you pay. There's absolutely no way, if you follow that concept step by step, that you can get ripped off. In addition to that, the house only cost $300,000 to build. Let's go wild and crazy and say Kato did some fly shit, right? Because I see like the studio swagged out, right? Let's say you spend $400,000. There's $200,000 left over, and that's being conservative. You never were at risk of losing that.
Word.
Right? Now, let me ask you this question. How many times people have renovation work done by a contractor in their house that doesn't get finished?
55% of the time.
Often, right?
Yeah,
Often. It happens.
More than half of the time.
Now, in this neighborhood right here, how many times you see a house being built that doesn't get finished? Where you see like a house and no roof.
Yeah, no, that's a rare.
Never happens, right?
Not here.
The builders have to go get a permit. They got to go put their license in the county record. They got to submit the plans. They have to finish that work in order to get paid. So it's the safest way for us to get into real estate. It's the safest way for us to get into real estate safely, affordably. It's the lowest risk. It's the fastest way to really get in the game of real estate and be successful with like your future in mind, with like your kids in mind. I teach now like development. It's more so because you got to think about this. Don Peoples don't got anything that I see where he's like, hey, I'm one of the richest developers in the world. You can do it this way. He ain't teaching it. Donald Trump, he ain't teach development. He's teaching business practices and how to negotiate. And going back to your point, right? The people that's developing, the culture, the ethnicities that are developing, they don't teach it outside of their communities.
Right.
The developers are the same. We know the Jews own such and such amount of property in New York City, right? We know the Trump Towers, the Chrysler Building, right? We know the developers, but are any of them ever teaching us any of this stuff? No. We got Don Peoples, we got Bob Johnson, we got H.J. Herbert Riley, something in Atlanta. Biggest developers. You know what they do at the give back? They give to charity. That's all they doing. They're not saying, hey, here's a developer course, right?
Right.
I got a $3 billion portfolio. Like, why are they not giving out a developer course? Who's teaching development? No, they're not teaching it.
Right.
They bragging about it. They're doing charities. They're doing donations. They're doing give backs. Like, the money is not the answer. The answer is like, hey, I'm gonna teach all my people how to develop. Like, it's so simple, easy, and safe, but they just don't do it.
How do you get people to see that type of value though in our type of communities, in our type of neighborhoods? Because for some people, it's a mountain that can never be climbed. It's something that's just seen as unobtainable. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
how do you help people understand that you can do this too? Like, is it just by living it? Is it just by making sure you capture these things to help get it on social media and spread the word that way? Or
Well, one of the things I say, man, I think social media is like one of the best things that could have happened to us because our community is so dialed into social media. We are like on social media every day, all day, right? The same people we need to reach are on social media every day, all day. So what I do is I try to show it in a relatable way. I try to show it in a cool way that makes them believe they could do it too.
yeah,
Like, I want to show, and right, I think if you speak to me long enough, you understand where I come from. you understand, like, I'm just like you,
Yeah.
but I made it, right? I'm just like you, and I just had some information that other people don't have. Like the way I broke down developing, right? Nobody knows that stuff. Nobody know how safe it is. They just know, like, oh, I can't build a house. The reality of it is you can. So what I try to do is more definitely social media, but I try to make all of my stuff like super relatable. I'm not trying to be like Don Peoples and Bob Johnson.
Right.
I don't suits be tight to me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, you said that earlier.
like that ain't really that's not really my, I don't like wearing suits like
Word.
that. And I don't want people to think that you gotta be the suit and tie. You know, my beard sometimes it'd be nappy, it'd be like, I'm just who I am. But I want people, I use social media, and my following is growing pretty strong too. I use social media for people to see, like, yo, that he making it look easy. You know, so we have to leverage social media to get that word, to get the word out there. We have to leverage podcasts.
Right.
The news has called me, so we're garnering some national attention.
Nice.
Yeah, I got called by a couple news stations. We're doing a big conference.
That's what so yeah, because I you know, that's another thing is, this is something, and it's, I don't want to say a new culture, but having these conferences and having conventions, having these think tanks, these workshops where this type of information is available. I know you were going to get to that, but this has become I don't want to say a trend, but it's like a cultural revelation rather. Like an Invest Fest, like the Revolt Cons and the Revolt Worlds, and where they have these panels where people can speak more about financial literacy and actually ask somebody who's done it, and they look like you.
Yeah.
Okay. And like you said, we get to rock the Balenci, and we get to show up how we are and how you might actually operate when you're actually navigating in your business. But just, I don't know. I think it's amazing that this is something that is becoming popularized.
Yeah, we need it. We definitely need it. We need so I think when I was younger, if I all I had was, like, I couldn't follow my brother, right? He's beating people up, he's drinking out, he's drinking 40, he's beating people up, listening to rap music, and writing rhymes, right? That's what they was doing, and tricking out their cars. So there wasn't money in that, really, outside of, like, unless I wanted to be a boxer, right? There wasn't money in that. The only money I saw was my older sister, middle sister, and my mom's. That's it. And had I saw something different, had I saw somebody say, like, you could do this and make money, and it looked like they're respectable, because you're not listening to the dude that's doing worse than you, right?
Nah.
If I saw that, it might have had an effect on me. I had to, like, pave my own way. I'm the leader of my community. I'm the leader of, like, my friends. I'm the leader of my circle. If I say, hey, we gonna go buy such and such, like, they like, how much, right? I don't really have, as I get the information, I kind of bring it back.
Wow.
So I say that to say, like, I teach and I do stuff and I do conferences just really to show people, like, y'all, like, we could do this.
Wow.
I'm doing it. Here's my numbers. I'm passionate about helping. I'm passionate about you guys being successful. And I'm doing something kind of crazy. But y'all know a little bit about my story,
Right.
so you won't think it's crazy. Or you'll think it's crazy, but you won't think it's, like, out of character for me.
Well, so coming to a conference in the flesh, you got one coming up in...
So, yeah, I'm scared.
Okay.
I'm gonna just keep it. I'm gonna just keep it all the way real. I don't know
Nothing wrong
where
with
this
that.
number came from, bro. I have no clue where this number came from. Right?
Okay.
I just be having. So I feel like I could just make anything happen that I come up with in my head.
That's a powerful...
Right?
For me, real estate is such a scary place. Even for me purchasing my own home.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm like, you know what? Let me rent for a little bit till I feel comfortable. I don't know if I want to move here and live here.
Right.
I don't know if I would want to live here full time. And then there's people that would say, no, just jump into real estate. But I don't know enough
There's
about
so
it.
much
And I've had
yeah.
so much stuff in the path of me being able to know that much, that it's like, let me stay away from it. As I'm sitting here listening to you speak, I'm starting to get ideas. Oh, I didn't know you could do that, or I didn't know you could do this. So what would you say to somebody like myself that's being hesitant into purchasing a home?
Think long term. Think about your kids. Design what you want. And I'm going to tell you right now, don't look for it on Zillow, on Trulia. Build it. It's cheaper. It's way cheaper. Building it is like going to BJ's or Costco or the wholesale warehouse, right? That's what building it is, because you only pay for the labor and the materials. The houses that are on Trulia and Zillow, those are houses that someone built
Finished
that
product.
they're selling. Those are the $300,000 houses that they're selling for $650 and $750. So you go in there and you looking for them, but the reality of it is you just call an architect and say, hey, I'd like for you to draw up plans for this, right? Sit down with your lady, figure out, where you want the bedrooms, bathrooms, right? And just design what you want and price it out first. The money piece, so that's something that will give you some time to really figure out how you want to live, how you want it to be designed and everything. And and bake in some room for growth. So you don't have to move again, right? Just make sure you're going to do it in the neighborhood that you want to stay in. I don't know if shop is closed or not, bro, but if y'all trying to go a third, you might want to add on another room. And then sometimes 3 gets crazy. You might want to make sure that man cave is in there too, right? You want to bake that in, and you can just really just design your own. It's really not that expensive. It's way less than if you bought off of Trulia, Zillow, Realtor.com.
So you don't face the same issues as you do with the developers, as you do with your day-to-day
No,
contractors?
they can't get paid. They're not getting paid.
Okay.
You're gonna give them your plans. They're gonna go get estimates and tell you how much it's gonna cost. Typically, we talk in terms like this: $100 a square foot, $150 a square foot, $200 a square foot. So if you want to build, like your builder's charging $150, you got a 2,000 square foot house. That's gonna be $300,000, based on grade, like finishes and things like that. It can go up or down a little bit. So the house that I'm building in Birmingham, I'm working with the city because I want to have a place for people in Birmingham to be able to buy houses that they can afford. So I want to do low income housing. Then I want to do affordable housing for people that want to rent at reasonable prices. So I partner with cities and counties to work with the land that they have to develop it and try to put people in homes where they really couldn't afford for the most part.
That's dope.
Yeah,
it's great information too. And do you feel like, so how do people like myself find this information on a day-to-day? Like, because it seems like we're mostly, and I'm telling you from experience, I'm mostly running from it, right? Like, I don't want to deal with that. I'm good. I'm happy over here. I don't want to deal with any of that.
It is challenging. Like you said earlier, you don't know if you want to live in one place for that long. A lot of times our paperwork ain't right? The stuff that banks be asking for, we don't feel like looking for it. Sometimes we be behind on our taxes. I know 2023 taxes, if you got an extension is due in October, right? So it is daunting. And then when you do an application, they want to ask everything, right? They want all this information, but you got to go through it. Most lenders that will lend on new construction. I would say, so it's difficult for me because I got 2 places and I'm buying a third one. So you got to get in and you got to start somewhere. You have to just here's what I'll say. You don't have to, right? There's a concept where you want to be mobile, you want to rent, you cool with renting. If y'all want to go move somewhere else, you can. You want to go bigger, you could go there. Me as a New Yorker, I want to be somewhere in the South because in the wintertime, right? So I'm getting to the point where I really want to just work out as a priority in my day. I want a spot in a warm climate so I could run all year, right? Jogging is like my thing, my primary preferred way to work out.
Yeah.
So I'm working on a third place in a warm temperature climate. So there's no right or wrong answer to that. That's a great question. But I would also say this: people that don't have a lot of money don't have all those options. So you just got to make a decision.
Yeah.
At a lower level, right? Lower level financially, at that point it becomes renting versus owning and what makes sense for that family financially. So if you paying, let's just say $2,000 rent for where you live, and then owning a mortgage will cost you 2,200, they almost gotta buy a place because the rent is gonna continue to increase, right? Buy a landlord. So somebody like me is gonna be increasing the rent 5%, right? It makes sense. And if you got kids, you gotta manage your finances at just an everyday level, right? Some people I know I'm saying that wrong, but you got to manage your finances. And then at that point, it's a financial decision. You got a little bit more options, right? So you could rent and say, oh, like, I might move. We might want to move. We might want to get a condo, a high rise in New York. So I don't want to buy here because my dream is to overlook like the city when I wake up in the morning. So based on your level of where you are financially, you got options and choices. That's why it's hard for you.
Yeah.
For somebody
Absolutely,
who income for the house is 3,600, right? Oh, they got to buy a house real quick.
Yeah.
Because rent's going
what
up.
makes sense.
Somebody get fired, they hurt. Yeah.
So now you're gonna be doing something huge in Birmingham, Alabama, for the community. And I know that, just speaking about it earlier, what's the chant that goes on? Buy back your block. Buy the block.
Let's go.
Bro, I gotta share something with you, man, because this is like the most transparent or my open and to sharing information that I've been. That chant started from me taking people that were going to an auction. They were nervous. So I buy properties all the time. I buy them online. I go to auctions and buy them. But I took 200 people to an auction and they were nervous. Like I could see it. And I organized the auctions, right? So we're going to earmark a property for you, Mel, and you. Everybody going, so we don't bid against each other, right? I'm really trying to like organize these auctions and stuff. So the first auction I took people to, there's properties that you see worth $10,000 that's selling for $600. People started buying each other's properties. I got people that when their number was called, they were missing. Some were buying by accident, but people were missing their auction number being called. And I'm like, all right, like what the hell happened? So we regroup. I'm like, what happened? You bought his, you missed yours. Like what's going on?
We had a plan, guys.
We had a plan, guys. So people were nervous. There was a lot of nervous energy. There was some, I'm gonna just say our people, greed. If you got a chance to buy a property for that's worth $20,000 for $600, some of us are going to take each other's property. That's just what it is, right?
And you late to the podium? Let me get his too.
Yeah. So they started wilding. So I started doing activities before, like team building activities, camaraderie activities. So here's two things that we do. One of them, we just we have breakfast together. We break bread together. We try to get that camaraderie, that one band, one sound together. So I'll rent out a hall, like a hotel reception area or something. And we break bread. That chant came from like the energy, the nervous energy in the room. 200 people going to an auction to buy properties at one time. And they just started. I was like, we going to buy the block, and they just start going crazy. Buy the block. It start going crazy. Then here's the other thing that we did not get this on camera. A Soul Train line. A Soul Train line.
Get all the nerves out.
Get
man.
all the nerves
Yes,
out.
sir.
But that Soul Train line bonds us. Doesn't it bond us?
Yeah.
Like you go to a wedding or something, you do a Soul Train line, we friends.
We all fit.
I ain't even like what you wore, but like, yo, he cool because he did the bust, right?
You killed it. When it
You
was your
killed
turn,
it.
you did your thing.
You automatically like him.
Yeah.
So now when it's his time to bid, the chances of you taking his is slim. And we had auctions with two people going against each other with the same buy the block shirt on. I'm like, oh my God, like what are they doing, bro? So I started doing stuff like that. And
Very
it went
smart.
crazy. So that at 200, I'll be trying to put us together, bro. Some of it be backfiring on me, man. Some people, oh Charles, you should do it this way. You should do it that way. Why the French toast? And I'm like, y'all do know, like, this is just me and 3 team members that's doing this, right?
Yeah.
When you do your auction, let me know. I want to come. When you organize 250 people to pay and organize that and fly in from all of it, let me know. I'm gonna come. I'm gonna come through.
It's unfortunate that people have those mindsets.
So it'd be a small though.
That's
The
just what
crew
it
be
is.
having my back and they get attacked real quick.
Yeah,
They'd be like,
there you
"What?"
go.
Yeah, nah. I get love from that perspective.
Well,
So
what's cool about that is at some point it'll become somewhat self-governing because you've created a culture and you've created an expectation of these people. So as they show up time after time and they get to know, and some people have seniority, they keep other people in check and it becomes a real thing. It's a movement.
It is.
That's a beautiful and powerful thing.
We getting better at it too. So when I do like cohorts and stuff, let's just say for a month, I got somebody who takes attendance. So now you paid me, Kato. Where you at? It's 7:00. It's Tuesday. Like you missed a class.
Yeah.
Right. Where you at? I'm a call you. Or my team's going
waiting for you. I had a
we're
chair for
actually
you.
gonna call you, and people be like, "Yo, I'm so sorry. Life be life." That's the excuse now, right? That's the excuse for like life be life, and I'll be like, "Yeah, whatever." But yeah, no, we are very well organized, and it gave me the courage to do something that's wild and crazy, bro. I'm attempting to bring 500 people to Birmingham, Alabama. We had meetings with the city. They invited me to their developer summit because I'm developing there now. So they invited me to the summit, and they got a lot of money, but they don't have the developers to build. The city can't do it, right? So they invited me. I brought my team. In, and just as a give back to that city, it's so storied, it's rich in history,
Birmingham.
it's disinvested, but downtown is already done. They got an amphitheater coming. Coca-Cola has like a 200-acre beverage facility. They're moving their headquarters there.
Big.
Right? It's next. It's coming.
I see.
It's like starting already. I've never done an event with 500 people.
500.
Right. So I'm attempting is February 21st and 22nd. We're going to go down there and turn up on Friday. We're going to get that nervous energy out. We're going to make friends. We're going to have a little open bar on Friday. Right. We're going to really become family and lock in. And then on Saturday, I'm going to just go crazy. I put together the crazy lineup.
Okay.
So when I say the crazy lineup for this event, right? This ain't like the entertainment event. This ain't the event you go shopping for and like, oh yeah, this is straight education. This is straight wealth. This is straight like we got a chance to own a city and make it ours, right? So historically, we are on a descent. Minorities are on a descent from land ownership. We're not transferring our properties down the right way through succession. Somebody die, the family fights. What do? Sell it.
Yeah, give me the
Right?
cash.
We losing properties like crazy. The stats are disgusting. At one point, African Americans owned 14% of the available land in the United States. Today, we are down to 1.3%.
Oh,
Damn.
Crazy stat, right?
Whoa.
So I felt it was a key member to have is an attorney that helps people create trust. So I have an attorney speaking early who's going to teach people about trust and the importance of having a trust. So that stuff is already cared for by the time we pass away. The kids don't got to argue and fight. You get these, you get those, pops is gone, right? They don't have to fight anymore. And we won't lose our properties that way. In addition to that, I have a team of 5 different builders. So to service individuals that want to buy land and build in Birmingham. So just imagine a room that has an architect, an attorney to do your trust, builders to build your property and the bank to lend you the money to actually build the property. Sick. And then I'm a teach. And then, so that's the morning.
roof.
Yeah.
That's the morning. That's the morning. This is my vision, but I just be making it happen, right?
Let's go.
So that's the morning piece. Then we're gonna break bread for lunch. We're gonna have some fun. We got Melanie who's gonna host it.
Let's
Okay.
go.
She gonna host it. And then I'm gonna just get on and I'm gonna teach. And I'm gonna try to teach my ass off.
Oh yeah.
That's gonna be like
Let's go.
that's gonna be like the equivalent. It's gonna be like the equivalent of a rapper doing a show, like
Yeah.
a killer performance.
But with the whole, you just built a school in Birmingham, Alabama. That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
February
Yeah.
21st and February 22nd.
Yes,
You got a school that you built.
I'm
out
gonna
there.
teach,
Yeah.
bro. I'm gonna teach.
go.
Like, I created an acronym to teach people how to buy land. It's called Africa. You mind if I share it with the audience?
Hell no,
Let's
of course.
go, please.
Anybody know how to buy land? Anybody know where to buy land?
No.
Hell no, right? So look, so this is how you buy it, right? And this stuff is so easy. It's just, and I'd be mad at developers because they don't be teaching this stuff. But I'm gonna break down this acronym. It's called Africa. This is how you buy land, right? So if you see a piece of land for sale, you want to just go through this acronym. The A is for area. You want to check out, based on your county, what's the size of land you need to build a house on. So for you, what county are we in?
We are in Broward County.
In Broward County, you want to call your planning and zoning board, and you're just going to ask them, how much square feet do I need to build a house? They're going to tell you 7,000. So you want to call that first before you go shopping for land. So now you know you need 7,000 square feet to buy land, right? F is for the fundamentals of a sewer system. You want to make sure, because this can be an unexpected cost for people that's looking to buy land. There could be water, but not sewer. Sewer is separate, is a separate bill,
Key
and
detail.
you could have a septic tank. I don't know how much rural towns you guys have in this area, but in rural communities, they don't have sewer everywhere. They have septic tanks in some. So you want to verify the fundamentals of a sewer system. So you would go to Google Maps. So you get the land, you get the information for it. You go to Google Maps, Google Street View. You're going to look up and down the street for a manhole. You know the potholes, the manholes?
yeah.
You're going to verify that that's the sewer system. You'll see on the side the drainage system, right? Those are the fundamentals that at a minimum, you want to make sure those are there before you buy the piece of land. The R is for road frontage. You want to make sure that you have access to the road, to the street. Sometimes you could make the mistake of buying a piece of land that falls under the term landlocked.
Wow.
That means it doesn't have road frontage, and it could be behind a parcel of land that has road frontage, right? So in that case, you may have to ask for what's called an easement. So you'll ask that person if they could give you an easement through their property, typically on the side. It's just like a small easement so that they can get to theirs. So sometimes you'll see that if you pay attention in some rural neighborhoods, for the most part, you'll see a person's house and then you'll see a little alleyway. Sometimes they call that a flagpole easement. It looks like a flagpole. So it's the skinny pole, and then you have the house back.
Yeah.
Right.
So you want to verify road frontage.
See a
Road
couple-
frontage.
More than one mailbox up front.
Yeah,
Kinda
and then in the back, you got somebody who bought the wrong property right back there, who got to go through the side
That
to get to
dirt
the house.
road.
Yeah. So that's your road frontage. I is for infill lots. So you want to buy infill, what's called lots that are in developing areas, that are where you can verify that there are houses there. So when you do your Google Maps or your Google Street View, you just take it up the block, down the block to make sure there are other houses there. You don't want to buy land where there are no houses at all.
And why is that?
The sewer system, you'll have to pay the water company or the sewer company to dig the street wherever it is all the way to yours.
Wow.
And that's just something that, like, we got to make sure we're buying. If we're getting into this space, we got to make sure. I want people to know that they're buying safely and buying correctly. So you want to buy infill lots. So this house right here has a house next to it, across the street, across, and on the other side. So we know chances are they got water. Chances are they got sewer there. If not, we'll call them. You can call the planning and zoning board to verify. Or you call the sewer department and verify. Hey, you can give them what's called a parcel number. That's how they identify the land. If there's no house on it, it's typically identified by a parcel number. You call them and just ask them, hey, is there an account here? Was there ever an account here? Do you guys have sewer at this location? And they'll tell you.
Right.
They'll tell you. The last one, so it's C and then A. C is for the comps. So when we talked earlier and I was saying how much our house is worth in this area right now. So we say like 600,000-700,000. You want to go on maybe like a Zillow. You can search for what was sold already. There's a small tab that says sold on Zillow. And you want to verify what was recently sold in this area. And you want to make sure that you sort it for new construction. Because if you're building to sell and make money, you want to validate that, not like a house that was built 10 years ago that just sold for 600,000. The new developments are probably selling for 7 and 8. So you want to just take your time, do your research, and validate like whatever concept you put together. So if you want to build for 3 and sell it for like 7, or you want to do something fly for 450 and sell it for 7, you want to make sure that they've sold at that level already.
So it makes
You don't,
sense.
so it makes sense, right? And then the last one is access. You want to make sure it has access to power lines. Because it's very similar to water and sewer, if there's no power lines, you actually got to pay the power company from the last house where the light pole was to bring the wire, bring a pole and bring wires all the way to your house and connect it. So those are some of the safer things that you could do to get into the space.
I like that.
That's an
Africa.
amazing acronym. You know, again, it's just the education that I'm able to obtain by sitting down talking to somebody like you. Now, how many of these events have you done that are similar to Birmingham, Alabama, or is this the one?
This is the one. This is the one that scares me. This one scares me because we got support. Right. So when we went to Detroit, it was like a fight. It was like, I'm bringing more people. I'm bringing more. Try to work with the Landbank. They didn't want to work with me. All right, we're going to buy. Those are my people who just bought that last 10, right? It was a fight until they started like, yo, dude, you got power. Like, all right, let's talk. Then they start coming to my event. So now I'm like, all right, forget it. I'm going to another market, right? Then we went to Hawley, Pennsylvania. Hawley County, Pennsylvania has a tax sale where they sell those properties that I described, $600 for properties that be worth like 10,000, right? We went there. They gave us so much flack. Like they've never seen 250 black people chanting, wearing the same clothes. They were treating us like they wasn't so warm and fuzzy about it.
Yeah.
Right. So I buy the Detroit Land Bank introduced me to the COO introduced me to the Land Bank in Birmingham, and I started buying a lot of land there. And ever since I've been buying land there, they've been embracing me and endorsing me. They like, Charles, we want to do business. We know to bring this city back to the culture it used to be. We know we have to have public to private partnerships. Send us give us a proposal, right? We'll look at it. I'm building a house now, and I'll be sending them pictures, right? I'll be sending the pictures to the mayor, the deputy. They're embracing it, right? We got a meeting on Thursday with the Land Bank. They're going to come to the conference and put up a booth and speak. So this one kind of scares me. It's like, I said I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
They saying cool. Now I got to get 500 people out there and do
But
it.
that's how it goes, man. It's the ones that scare you, you know?
This one, yeah.
That means you're doing something that's bigger than probably you've ever done before.
It is.
You know what I mean? And I can't wait to talk to you in another couple years, and you're like, hey, let me tell you how Birmingham went. All right?
Man,
We
I'm
had
gonna text
1,000
y'all
people.
during. I'm gonna hit y'all
You know
during
what I'm
like,
saying?
yo, it's packed. Yo, look at that. I'm gonna text you the
They all wearing
screenshot.
my shirts. Let's go.
I'll tell you what, we've been moving and grooving now. That's something
Yeah.
I might want to pop out to.
You know?
Man, I would appreciate the
That would be
support.
super dope. Yeah.
So you know, I'm all about like family, doing stuff together. As we're developing these houses now, we agreed as our signature for this movement, we're gonna all have blue doors on our properties.
Oh wow.
Blue is like a symbol of solidarity, peace, love. Like it has meaning to the color blue actually has meaning to it. So I can't wait, bro. Like my this is my 4th development. It's almost done, but I can't wait till like, and I show it too. I try to make it so easy and show everybody like it's so doable. I can't wait till we really to be able to just imagine like driving through a city and you know that you're responsible for doors of like that's in the
Yeah,
city.
that's
Yeah,
fire.
yeah.
That's kind of sick. Bro, you know?
Absolutely, yeah.
But being, and not to be the pessimist of the group or the conversation, but when you have something that's so powerful and you do something that creates so much change and empowers so many people that prior to probably didn't have this type of power, do you catch resistance from neighborhoods or from certain
No, they need it. They need it.
Okay,
So
if
the
anything-
city gets this money. So outside of the auction people in Pennsylvania being a little, little rude and like,
fucking up
oh,
market."
he's here back again. They say it with a smile, but you know the feeling, right? You know the
We all
vibe
know-
when
we all
they
know.
because it's extra work for them. They're like city workers that got to stay till 9 p.m. now because I bought 200 people. So I get that, but no, man, because it's all positive. It's all taking those vacant lots. And they don't want the mayor at the developer summit. He said, like, that old lady shouldn't have a vacant property next to her house,
the eyesore.
the eyesore, and then the land vacant right next to it. He's like, it's just not right. So they are fully embracing. It's a developer friendly city too. Big shout out to Birmingham. When you want to get your water turned on, you call, they turn it on that same day. The gas, the electric, they turn it on same day. So they have the structure in place for it. They just don't have the developers. They don't have the people. So I'm gonna be that guy
Let's go.
that brings people to Birmingham, Alabama.
Lead the charge.
So you don't feel it would be safer with red doors?
It wasn't my color, so that was a collective. That was a collective of the group.
Yeah.
So I did like an online challenge, and I took like a closer group who needed extra support, and they're so much behind me. And I'm like, hey, what color? Because I want it to feel like you could do it too. Like this is your project, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
like you're building this house. I'll be showing it on Instagram
Yeah,
every
yeah,
day
yeah.
in my stories and show how easy it is. And then I'll be showing that I don't be doing nothing, right? I also be showing like I'm in New York, y'all.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they sent me these pictures this morning. Here they go. This is how it goes. You put a camera on, you can see your thing being built in front of you. But I make the developers over deliver. Like this is personal. Send me I want every single picture for the day, and they send them to me. And then if I bring people to develop in your city, you gonna do Danza the same way.
Yeah.
Danza get WhatsApp because they gonna be sending them.
Yeah.
Right. Kato get on WhatsApp. Y'all gonna connect. So I want to just make it super safe for everybody.
Yeah.
And they're the ones who said, "Hey, we gonna go with blue."
Yeah. I was just trolling about blue and red.
Yeah, but yeah. I know, but I let them do it.
That's
It's-
super dope,
it's
though. Man.
all
It's
about
super,
them.
super dope.
It's amazing to be a part of.
Now, speaking of that, and to be honest with you, like I'm not hell bent on all of it. I pay attention to the politics that involve me and the things that I'm doing in my life, because to get too far into it, it just seems like everybody's clashing. And
Yeah.
usually in anything like that, I like to kind of be a little bit back here. You guys do all the fighting and stuff like that. Do you feel that in the current affairs that it's better off run like in the industry, in the real estate industry right now? Is it tougher right now than under the previous administration?
I honestly don't know. I just do what I do. I got a good CPA. I buy a lot of land. So I don't even, it sucks to say that I don't pay too much attention to it because I live in my own world. I'll be more about like, how can I impact people? How could I make sure we don't go broke under any administration?
Yeah,
Is what I really be focused on.
I respect that.
And the politics thing, man, it'd be a game to me anyway. It's almost like a popularity contest to me, if I'm gonna keep it real. And I want us to be in a position where it don't affect us, right?
It's
Like
very,
we got
very
our
wise.
own money. I just taught 500,000 people how to buy land and make $100,000 minimum per property,
Yeah.
right? Find the down payment. I don't care where you find it. Call your friends, your brothers. Don't club for a year, right? Don't get the car that you really want. Just find the money to get it, and now we in the game. Because this is the real game. This is the real
Right.
monopoly,
Wealth.
right? The people that own, this is just my opinion politically, right? The people that got all the money fund the political action committees for whoever gets in office, and
For
then they
whichever.
owe them a bunch of favors anyway.
Yeah.
So it really like that's
What
how
are we get? What are we playing at? Like,
right. Like I don't know how much that vote really counts
Yeah.
when I just gave you $4 million and I want you to okay me to build this skyscraper. Right.
What is
So
that?
I want us in position where that shit don't even matter.
Yeah.
Get your money, feed your kids, level up. It's free money out here now that I spilled the beans on development. Everybody can make money. I don't care if you got to get a $500 piece of land in the hood. We in the hood anyway. Right. So we need to
Get
build
you
it
some
before they
land.
build it.
Yeah.
It ain't like they vote. Who wins don't matter to me. Not one bit. If something goes up, I got the money to pay for it.
Yeah.
If it gets better, cool. Now my people got an easier way to get in the game. It don't matter.
Yeah, we already went through it. We learned how to adapt, and that's how I feel. You know, it doesn't. I don't. I really don't. I wouldn't be able to tell you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Whether it's tougher under which time,
Yeah.
because I'm doing pretty good. You know, so like, and at the end of the day, I've always found a way to adjust because it's these hurdles are if you're playing in the league and they make new rules in the league saying, well, now you can't do this move, or
Yeah.
there's no more flapping and we're gonna penalize you for that. You got to
You make the
adjust at all
adjustment.
times. As long as you have the ability to adjust under any circumstance, it doesn't matter. You know, it matters about you and what you're looking to do and what you're looking to accomplish. So it's
Exactly.
super dope.
That's why I want us to eat. I want us to eat independently. I'll be mad at the developers that really been making all this money for so long and they never taught us any of this stuff. I'm like, yo, you had this company building these buildings for how long? And all you doing is like a grant for entrepreneurs. Like you're not teaching us how to do it. That's kind of crazy to me.
Yeah, but they
So-
don't want everybody to win.
Can't
No,
teach
this
kids
what they
how
be
to
telling.
live.
This what they be teaching. They be telling y'all to go flip and renovate, go fix and flip what they already built 55 times. Go refinance that again and take out another 50,000. Put more paint on it. Put new appliances. Put hardwood floors now that you leveled up from peel and stick to the LVP waterproof. Now go do hardwood floors and take more money out. They're not going to tell you, oh, go build it and only pay $200,000 for it.
Yeah.
Right? That's not the game. But now that I got the goddamn game, yo, I'm giving it out, right? Everybody go build. Please go build. It's so easy.
And that's where I was mentioning was the transparency. And look, we appreciate you for coming through and dropping so much knowledge on us, because it's, again, this was something that I had the ability to learn and grow with a podcast like this, with a conversation like this. And again, I definitely would look forward to coming out there in February. I think that would be amazing. But before you leave, I do want to ask you, do you feel in your life, because you got a lot going on, right? And this is going to be a super interesting, because you guys already know the question that's coming, right? But for me, I'm really eager to hear, on a scale of a 1 through 100, because we can't ask 1 to 10, too slim. 1 to 100, where do you feel like you are at in the scale of life right now?
100.
100.
I did it all, bro. I did it all. My friend's father's dying. And I'm like, yo, man, pick your head up. He lived a good life. Like, as we hear in his story, his pops lived a good life. Then, so the two guys that I'm telling you about, right? My roommate and my other homie, like, we had so much fun with this thing called life, right? My kids never wanted anything. They got credit cards, they swipe. They have no concept of like financial restraints, right? They got car, they drive what they want. They feel so good about their upbringing. They turn around and thank me for teaching them financial literacy and setting them up that way. I got to see my mom off before she passed. I spent a lot of time with her. Financially, I'm straight. Like money it doesn't move me. What moves me more is those people you see that say, Charles, thank you. I got my first product. That moves me. I partied like a freaking rock star. Just imagine me with money, right?
Right, like
Tall, light-skinned dude for the city with money.
There we
Now my
go.
conversation with that girl is different, right? So I've cracked that code a long time ago, bro. Right? So like, I owned a boat, every car I wanted.
Come on.
Like I'm overachieved. I'm now doing like wild shit, like having 500 people come to a city because I said it's dope. They got money and I'm backing it up financially, like with statistics, right? Alabama got $7.7 billion, so it makes sense to go there. But I'm just at the phase where like I'm so calm and so over accomplished that I'm past that 100 long time ago.
Fire.
Yeah.
Dope way to answer it. And a dope way to close this out. Again, we appreciate you for coming through. Let's keep connecting. I think
Yes,
that's
sir.
important. You know, I always tell people that the Danza Project is not a podcast, it's a network. And that's the most important thing. So again, thank you for coming through. I hope you enjoy the rest of your time out here. I'm pretty sure you're gonna be moving and grooving soon. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, man, I did it all. I'm going to sleep.
Yeah. No, what I'm saying is, I know you're gonna be in other cities and other places and doing your thing. So we appreciate you greatly.
I appreciate you having me, bro. I love the convo, man. Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
So you got the conference coming February.
February
and where do they-
21st to 22nd.
Where do they go to check that out?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, let's build Birmingham.com. So I named it after it's community centered, community focused. So it's let's build Birmingham.com. Yep.
Okay.
Dope.
You can find me at Charles J. Noonan on Instagram. And all I'm going to be posting is how easy it is to build. I'm going to be posting houses and stuff. And you'll see that.
Yeah. I scrolled through your page a little bit to see all the progressions. See
Yeah.
some of the walls being put up. And you fast forward a couple weeks and now you got this put in. It is kind of interesting to see.
And then I have fun with it. You see me
course.
playing with the machine. Shit, you know I don't know nothing about that machine, right?
But that's what I want to see, man. I want to see people that look like me doing things that I never thought that I could do.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's the whole attraction of
That's
it all,
why I
man.
do it.
Come on.
Yes, sir.
So yeah.
Oh yeah. Orlando, sign us out. Danza Project, baby.
Yeah.
Let's go.